Oh yeah, we have to
I
get
told y'all
into.
not to worry about it, though. That's the thing. I literally said don't worry about the injury because we were a month away and he'll be back. So
This is
In a
true.
in a way, I feel like it was almost the sense of Chris Paul, like let's just let Chris Paul start. It kind of took away the pressure of who's going to start and like who's it was kind of like, all right, Draymond, you're injured, just chill for a few weeks and then we'll get into that later.
I know
But
I'm glad you said that, Haley, because like
yeah,
I was talking to Gifted about it yesterday. I'm gonna say it for after. I'm gonna say it for after. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just say I have a little bit of hope, a
I
tiny bit of
appreciate
hope.
that.
yeah, I have some
Let's
hope.
just say
Like,
I got hope.
but we'll get into it. What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining us. We're gonna get into game one. Obviously, it was preseason, so all the haters in the chat, I know you guys are gonna think we're over exaggerating and overreacting, and that's fine. That's what gold blooded is for. So, yeah, we see you, Laker fans. But how's everybody doing? If any of you are NFL fans, we got some big games. So drop a game you're watching if you're watching while you're watching the show as well. But yeah, I mean, I say we get right into it. Breakdown thoughts. We'll have some guests on as well in a few minutes. But Gifted, why don't you start us off with just some of the highlights from our first preseason game and FIFA ICU? First preseason game, what was the biggest draw of yesterday's game? The biggest thought, the biggest takeaway that you had?
Okay, well, first off, good morning, everybody. Appreciate all the support on this third episode of Gold Blooded that we're doing. In terms of the game, I was very excited to watch that game. I took some notes. For me, the biggest factor of the game that we watched was really the second unit. Dario Saric, man, he fits on his team like a glove. I love his fit in terms of his shooting and his size. He is literally a more consistent shooter and more aggressive type of guy than I would say Bielitsa from a couple of years back. I think he fits perfectly, and there's multiple lineups that he blends in well. But Jonathan Kuminga, man, in that first half, we shot like 33s. I was losing my mind. As soon as Kuminga subs in, the rim pressure and the rate at which you got to the free throw line, things flipped considerably. And you saw his athleticism really showing. So that would be my biggest factor from the game, Haley.
I like it. KB?
Hey man, he said it. I'm not gonna lie. Kuminga, the third year leap, like I've been saying, will be here very soon. It will be here very soon. I was impressed though. Sorry. I was impressed. I'm not gonna lie. Even though it is preseason game, I don't want to over exaggerate and like dive too deep and be like, yeah, we back. Cause like there's still some questions that need to be answered. We haven't even seen Draymond on the floor yet, right? So
Right.
that's also another question as well. But first, I'll talk about CP. Now, initially, the trade, we all know about the trade. We all don't like the trade. I still genuinely don't like the trade. But from what I've seen on the floor so far with this lineup of like, Draymond, CP, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Looney, defensively, we look cooked. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's an offensively slanted lineup. You have someone like CP who is the initiator, the ball handler, a pick and roll operator, someone who knows what a movement system would be like, and playing alongside guys like Clay, playing alongside guys like Steph allows him to flourish even more with the shooters that he has on the floor. Now, it'd be more ideal if his pick and roll partner was someone who was a explosive roller, like maybe Trace was on the lineup. Maybe later so in the season we'll get to see a lineup composed of that. But CP was good. Like I like the rub and ghost actions that they were running. Like I seen a clip on Twitter. Well, I watched it during the game, but I just seen it and I posted the clip on Twitter of this little like ghost screen action him and Steph would run. It would just free up Steph for a three. And like I'm glad Steph and CP, that dynamic, it looks fine. Like offensively, everything was fine, right? CP was handling the pick and roll properly. The possessions were quality though. That's one thing I definitely took away from it. Even every shot we took down the line, even if it was a three, which I was like mad at the amount that we took, it was quality looks though. Like you were finding yourselves open threes constantly. And CP still like has a very good in-between game. So I was impressed with CP. Clay was shot checking a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Every chance he got, he was throwing it
Oh,
up.
so you mean he
That's
was
what he
being
does,
Clay?
though. Yeah, I mean,
Now, Clay was being
is that
Clay. Like,
surprising?
he caught it. He said,
Yeah.
he was like catching and shooting everything. And I was
Immediately,
like,
yes.
okay, like, all right, Clay, I see you. Like, it's preseason now. Like, relax. Like, I hope you get all that up before the season starts because you cannot be just throwing up whatever you want. Steph was Steph. He was cool. We were just playing normal basketball. Wiggins is an interesting one because I think he played fine defensively. He was good. Offensively, we all know how much his perimeter's improved, especially from three. But we need someone in the starting lineup to have the ability to get to the basket. And I think Wiggins is the guy to be looking at. Like, we all expect Clay to come back. We want him to be like the old version of Clay. But even the old version of Clay wasn't getting to the basket that much either, right? He was just a little bit less selfish, and he knew more about not knew more about the system, but was more involved in it. Wiggins needs to be the slashing guy, the cutting guy who finds himself like spots. Like, I remember there was one play in 22 where they used to run it was a rub action or a cross screen into the paint for a Wiggins post up, and it would just be an easy post up because they would switch, Wiggins would get the mismatch, and then he'd lay the ball up. But Wiggins has not been slashing that much. Now it's just the preseason, so I'm just waiting, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like it looked good. Kaminga as well, man.
Yeah.
Kaminga, man. I told y'all about the 30-year leap. First play of the game, pick and roll. I think AD's playing drop. He attacks AD off the drop, rises and finishes left-handed layup. When I seen that, I was so happy. You guys don't understand how happy I was. Like, I seen him leap and actually absorb and try to finish around AD, and he did. The three-point jumper too looks a lot smoother, especially off the catch. He's more comfortable shooting in other areas around the three as well, and he's more comfortable handling pick and rolls too. Like, you could tell, like, he knows what spots work for him on the floor. He was finding mid-range spots. And even in the post-up, too, his footwork looks a lot better. He's using head fakes, and his free throws look a lot smoother. Like, I'm happy. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, I'm seeing this, and I'm like, if you put CP3 with this guy, he actually might give you some level of production that's, like, really needed.
Mhm.
Sarge was amazing, too. His lineup, like, his contribution to the lineup was amazing. Like, him being a DHO guy, he can handle the ball. He can push in transition. Defensively, he got a little bit of stops. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like he was really good. I like that too. And B-Pod as well was the I don't know how to say it, not the player of the game per se, but like the most underrated guy on the floor because he played really well as well too. Like everyone seemed to be fitting well within the offense and understanding it. The only thing I'd say is find ways to get to the basket more instead of just because you're spreading out the floor so much that there's no back line and you need to attack that back line. And if you don't, then you're just going to be settling on the perimeter, right? But that was my thoughts from the game. It was really good.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll
How
break
about you,
down.
Haley?
Yeah, we'll break down every single player for sure. But I agree with what both of you said. I think the standout for me, was Brandon. I think that I don't expect a ton from rookies, especially with some of the busts that we've had. No offense, Wiseman, but like Steve Kerr especially isn't one to implement rookies and give them serious minutes, even in their second year, right? Like we saw with Kuminga. Like I think JK could have helped at least boost us a little bit further through the playoffs if he had played more through the regular season and the postseason, but Steve Kerr is just typically not one to do that. I mean, we were playing with like a 7-man rotation with Wiggins out, Gary was out. Like we just had a really tough season. So even the preseason coming off of that felt like a relief in some way. Steph seemed at ease, which is good. Like that, if I see Steph stressed out or frustrated or just shaking his head and people doing stupid stuff, like that's what I hate to see. Like I just don't want to see that on Steph, but he seemed at ease. Chris Paul just helped the flow of the offense so much, and we'll get into our feelings there because we all walked into this as, let's just say, not the biggest Chris Paul supporters, right? But I love what I saw with Brandon, and I also saw what I loved with Clay. If you might think that Clay would, obviously he was taking every shot, but that's what Clay does, right? That's not surprising. But he looked healthy. He looked like he was feeling good. He looked like he was in great shape. And so that alone can be big for us this season. We'll get a couple of you guys up here to share your thoughts in a second. But last question, Gifted, what did you think about our second unit? What stood out to you? Did you like the rotation that they were playing with? We had like Gary in there, Wiggins kind of subbed in and out of that lineup, but what did you like most and what did you like least?
Yeah, so what I like most is the scrambleness of the lineup. I thought was good. They had Dario, Kuminga, Moody, GP2, and Brandon. That lineup was very handsy on, I would say, the perimeter. Brandon's hands on defense was really good last night, and I felt like they were able to be super quick, in terms of foot speed and also the spacing that they had with Brandon and also Dario. Like that lineup did really well. Also, I like Moody's aggressiveness in terms of getting to the basket and still trying to rebound the ball. That type of like up and down quick 1 through 5 type of lineup makes a ton of sense. And it also makes me think that Dario, being 6'10", he could fit in with multiple different lineups. I really want to see somewhere you might have Draymond and Dario play together. I think that could be a natural fit. But like the size and quickness of Kuminga just makes those types of lineups work. I think he's going to be integral to making that second unit really productive this season. So that's what I like. Some things I didn't like is it feels like there's still no real rim pressure on this team outside of Steph or Kuminga. Chris Paul has some good floaters with that other unit as well, but that's my main concern, like getting rim pressure and not just trying to take a million threes every night.
I 100% agree. That was our biggest problem last year in terms of rim pressure. Only 2 guys or like maybe 3 got to the basket frequently. And I get it. We're a good 3-point shooting team. We have good 3-point shooters. We should use that as an advantage to be able to get to the basket. That was always like the Warriors' motto. Like it was defense first, we'll play transition. But in the half court, we'll use our 3-point advantage to create looks, but also getting to the basket. And now I feel like we're just using our 3-point advantage just to create 3-pointers, which is fine, but not for every single half court possession. Like you shouldn't be this predictable. Team shouldn't be like, okay, we forced them up the 3. We know they don't want to get to the basket, so they're just gonna go back out to the 3. Like it shouldn't be like that. You have spacing. You have AD now, who's gonna be at times showing at the level. You're gonna have bigs showing at the level. Use it as I was telling Gifted this yesterday too. Like the rub actions and the ghost screen actions and the slips are gonna be like your favorite this year. In terms of you have shooters, you have guys who have the ability to draw too because of their shooting ability, such as Steph. So use that as an advantage to slip. Use that as an advantage to create looks at the basket. You should be running slip screen actions literally all the time with all your shooters. So that way you can get to the basket even more, right? With the corporation and JK2, Moody as well, like I think these guys will help get to the basket as well. Even B-Pod. B-Pod wasn't afraid to get downhill and get to the basket and finish over contact as well, which is good. And getting to the free throw line as well. Like even if you're trying to get to the basket, draw contact and try to finish strong, and you'll get to the line as well. And that's what I've seen and I like, but I just want to see more of it. Everything else so far offensively seemed pretty sound. So that's my only critique per se.
Yeah, offense, I mean, is rarely a problem. Although, our road record last season was just so nasty. And so hopefully, defense with Draymond back on the floor with Wiggins, Looney, and now some of these young guys, even JK, like I hope that that helps out. And I saw a tweet, I forget, it might have been Anthony Slater, but about Jonathan Kuminga, and when he was asking, he was like, you're definitely improved on your rebounding ability. And JK was like, yeah, because in practice they stop practice if I'm not rebounding, if I'm not focusing on that. And so it's good to hear that coaching is kind of, I mean, we don't often hear what's going on behind the scenes, but that's definitely good that they're making that something to focus on. I'm gonna put the link in the chat if you guys want to come, one of you want to come through and share your thoughts on game 1 before we get into this, and then we'll read some super chats as well.
I forgot about Trace as well. Trace defensively was actually good. He had a couple of possessions where he was blocking shots. He was running the floor as well. Like he looked good overall. You know what I hate about the preseason though? I know the preseason is all about like playing guys like who are gonna be fighting for minutes. But can we be honest for a second? We know who's like getting minutes, like off rip, right?
Yeah.
When we're playing niggas like Rudy Gay, like, come on, like we don't
veteran presence, man.
No. The veteran presence can be vocal, not physical on the floor. Okay, that's what we need. We need guys like Trace. We need guys who are actually fighting for actual minutes. Like Trace should have saw the floor more. You have him to an extent of like you have him as an extended contract, meaning that you see potential in this guy and you want to keep him for a while. So you should be.
I'm wondering if like maybe he didn't play because of his injury. I know that like before camp started, like they said he wasn't like fully healthy all the way, so maybe he was on extended minutes restriction.
Yeah,
I think I'm not sure about that.
No, I'm sorry. So, who was that number 18 fella? The headband who was bald.
18.
I think Jerome something or Robinson something. So I forget
because he didn't play last night.
His full name.
Nah, no, he didn't. Someone played. He was bald and he had a hat, and he was 18. It was like
I know exactly what you're talking about too. Yeah.
And Usman Gruba literally looks like Draymond Green on the floor. I hope y'all know that. Like
that is hilarious.
I was watching him plays where he was running like actions with Kuminga. And I'm like, that?
Yeah.
I was like, I bugged up for a second.
Like, it's Robinson.
I like Haley's point too, by the way, because the rebounding is the biggest reason why Kerr didn't want to play Kuminga. At least that's what Kerr said, because Moody rebounded the ball in the playoffs last year at a high level, and he could space out the three consistently from both the hash and the corner in the playoffs. So if Kuminga's rebounding with his athleticism, that gives us multiple second chance opportunities, and it secures multiple possessions. So that rebounding will 100% keep him on the floor this year, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And to your point, KB, when you say we already know who's going to get minutes, 100%. Like Steve Kerr is one to reward. Usually it's kind of a hierarchy of like how long you've played. Like that's typically how it goes. But player that we didn't see too much of and that I want to see more of for sure is Lester. He gives me Jordan Poole vibes with a little bit of defense. And we'll take scoring wherever we can get it. I just don't know how many minutes, but as far as the rookies go, like, yeah, Brandon showed up and I think he's big for us and can be big for us. And even Steve Kerr said he could play a point guard. He can play a shooting guard. So he's versatile in that area as well. So Terry with two dads, I can't wait to see Freak Time. Yeah, we can get
and they
into
played
it.
us today. They did not play today, bro. Dame and Giannis did not play today. I was tired. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, they didn't play. Yeah, they didn't. Outrageous, man.
Leaf, do you want to come up here? You always have so much to say in the chat, but
I know what you mean by he gives Jordan Poole vibes. I don't think he plays relatively the same as Jordan Poole.
not at all, but the vibes as far as offense goes.
I feel you for sure. Like the vibes is there, bro. I feel you, but
Leaf,
I don't want to be
come
seeing those vibes unless it's Jordan Poole on my team, though. That's the thing.
I don't want to be seeing those vibes. It's hilarious to me.
Because it's like I don't want to be reminded of what we could have had. You feel me? I just don't want to. I just don't want that.
Reggie Reg, love the show. Question for Spider Gwen: what's your over under for Dubs record playoffs place this year? Honestly, I feel like it was somebody tweeted out like their predictions for the season. I think they had the Warriors at 43.5. I think we'll be higher. I think we look good. Like I have hope for the season. And I think that, the West is super deep. I understand that, but I think it's going to take other teams, even the Lakers, right? LeBron and Austin didn't play yesterday, but I think they have a lot of working out, and we'll get into that, but their system just wasn't super cohesive. So I think that a good 50 games, maybe more for the Warriors, but I'll rest at 50 right now. As far as seeding goes, I think we'll be 4th or 5th seed. I'll stay unbiased with it. I think there's a lot better teams that will probably take over the regular season. But I think 4th or 5th seed. So
I agree. I don't think we have the same ones as we do last year, off of the sheer fact that we're going to be healthy, and I just think we're going to have a better road record. Like I don't know, for some reason now, like the stigma is like the Warriors are a bad road team, which is like this is our first season where our road team was just like terrible.
Yeah. Like, I'm not really worried about it, to be honest.
You've never ever been a bad road team before, so I don't think that's going to happen again. Now, if it does, I'll be surprised, but I don't think it's going to happen again. And I think off of the sheer fact of the West being so competitive, you're going to need a lot of wins to be able to actually get into the playoffs. So I think the Warriors are going to have between like 48 to like 53. That's my prediction.
Shout out Sebastian. Agreed. So yeah, Gifted, how many wins are you thinking this season?
I'm thinking like high 40s. I think this Warriors team defensively is going to be better, I would say, than what they were. It's just hard for me to give the number of games considering how competitive the West is, and if you also have to account for the amount of injuries this team might go through. But I just think that our defense, with Wiggins playing 37 games and us being that good at home, I just think it's going to be a lot better, especially not having to trade back to get GP2, but having GP2 at the start of the season with Kuminga's defense as well, off the rip. I think they're going to be a very competitive team. Now, where they'll see in the West, I think their peak is probably 3. I think their floor is probably like maybe 8 or 9, right? Like that's where I think the whole pendulum is. I would lean towards like the 5th or 6th seed for me.
Okay. 5th or 6th.
I'm with you. I'm 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So give me a little, I guess breakdown of what you saw from the Lakers. I think we can all agree Anthony Davis looked fantastic. As we would expect him to look like when he's healthy, right? But aside from that, what did you think from some of the guys that they had out there on the court? There were some solid shooters and some big minutes that they had, but to lose to a Warriors team that's quite a bit smaller than them. And I know it's preseason, but they were playing just as hard. We're not going to take that away from them. So what do you think happened there? And are you liking what you're seeing from them?
It's one game, so I'm not going to overreact. But Torian Prince was abysmal last night, man. His defense wasn't that good. They were going at him a lot consistently. I'm pretty sure he was like a minus
13.
Minus 13. I thought he was minus 5. Yeah. It just wasn't great from him. Obviously, first game, but what often happens is a lot of good shooters who go to the Lakers wind up not shooting the ball that well, and they're just not as productive. You hope the same doesn't prove to be true for Torian Prince, but he just seemed to be a much weaker link. Also, Jalen Hood-Schifino is not good at basketball. I hope he can pick it up.
Not good at basketball is crazy.
I just did not, see the hype. Now, granted, he's a newer draft pick, so obviously he needs time to learn how to play at the pro level. It's going to take some time, but he looked kind of shaky in terms of his confidence out there in certain spots of the floor. But it was kind of hard to have a real concrete take on that team. Rui looked aggressive, which I liked. He had a bunch of plays where he tried to go to the post and create advantages, which was cool. Klay Thompson played some pretty good post defense as well in his first game, so that was good to see. But that Lakers team, it's just hard to have a full concrete idea when LeBron obviously doesn't play, and they have certain guys that just won't really be playing. I don't think they really took preseason seriously at all, and that's to be expected considering that they never have great records at all during preseason. So that's my take on it.
Fair.
I think I pointed out AD in the first half looked really good. He was really aggressive.
Yeah.
Jump shot looks smoother. It looks a little bit better. I am a believer if AD is healthy, he'll definitely have a depoy season under his belt, for sure. I think Vando as well. Vando looked good. He was actually more aggressive taking corner threes. I don't know why, but he was willing to actually just take the open threes. He made some of them, but I'm not gonna lie, even if he shoots 40% from there, I'm not really too moved by that. Like if you're beating teams off of Vando corner threes, then congrats, I guess. So Christian Wood. Now
I forgot about Christian Wood. I forgot about Christian Wood. Go off.
Hey, listen, to any of you Laker fans that said we gotta steal, we'll talk hashtag real soon. Don't worry, we'll talk real soon about Christian Wood because they do not know about Christian Wood offensively like that. He is good. He's a good offensive player. But from what I've seen in that preseason game, he was getting ripped by Chris Paul at the age of 40. Like he was getting the ball taken from him from Chris Paul. He was driving with his head down. He was not playing well at all. And defensively, he was terrible too. The rookie is not good at NBA basketball for sure. I don't know what's going on. He just looked lost out there. Torian Prince looked terrible. JK was giving that nigga work in the post all night. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit concerned for them, but at the same time, it is a preseason game, so they didn't have LeBron or AR out there for them as well, and that'd probably give them more of a valve in terms of relief. So,
Yeah.
but I am worried about some of the role. Gabe Vincent looked okay too. He just looked like a normal role player out there, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still worried about that POA, and if their wings are looking shaky, then damn, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway is, it's preseason, but I think the Lakers are going to be tough. I think that it's going to take them a little bit to kind of find their groove though, but I think they'll be just fine in a week or two. And, once everybody's back. But yeah, AD definitely looks scary. I'm hearing everybody say MVP season incoming, defensive player of the year, but I'm just not buying into that because, we'll see his next game. I'm sure he'll drop 2 points, 3 rebounds. I'm just
he just needs to be healthy. That's it.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, he could be consistent. I do believe that for sure. MVP though is gonna be really hard because there's a lot of much better offensive players that are just better. So we'll see. But Depoy for sure, he could definitely have a Depoy season for sure.
Yeah, especially with the lack of defense that we see through the league. It's just not it's not as much of a priority. So I agree with you though. But yeah, I guess thoughts on what I don't know if we want to have this discussion because I feel like we constantly do. But with Draymond coming back, does that mean Looney's going to the bench or is that Wiggins going to the bench? Like,
I
do
mean,
we
CP is
know?
going to the bench. That's what that means. There's
No,
no
You
no,
would
but
think
he's
so.
not. It's already clarified that he will be starting. That's
as a
been
starter.
clarified by
Starter?
Steve Kerr. Yeah.
He said CP3 will be starting in the regular season.
But CP3 is starting in the regular season. Yeah,
No.
he is a starter. Yes.
No,
So who's
this-
coming off the bench?
The only
gonna be
reason why
Looney.
CP started in
That's
the
my thing, too.
probably if it was, it'd be probably Looney. But CP can't be starting. The only reason why he started is because Draymond was out. That's the only reason. There's no way you actually.
No, I'm
There's no. What were you about to say?
CP3 is starting. Sebastian's here. CP3 is starting in the regular season. I'm telling you. I just don't think like how do you put Looney on the bench? You know, that's crazy to me.
Because Looney
What's up,
doesn't
guys?
care.
What's
That's
good, man?
why.
Hi.
What's up, Sebastian?
What's up, Gibson? I don't really
I'm
agree with
appalled
that,
that
Haley.
CP. If I see CP now, if
Steve
CP
actually
starts
say
for
that?
opening night only, I'm okay with that because that's your old team. So like revenge game, woo, I'm there for the vibes, right? But like
That's a good point.
after the
great point,
first game of the NBA season, you should no longer be a starter. That's the only valid reason you should have. Maybe against Phoenix again, but we see them 4 times, so I don't want to see you start 4 times. So I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
just-
see that. I just think that that's what's gonna happen. Go ahead.
Right.
I just think this whole Chris Paul. I mean, he did really good yesterday, but I think just because Draymond's out, Chris is going to get more minutes starting. We'll see when Draymond gets back. I think Chris is coming off the bench.
He's back for the
It's
season
correct.
opener. That's literally he's back when we play Phoenix. So CP start leading the bench lineups, man. We need you for JK. The 30-year leap we need you for, man. So go lead Sario. I said Sario. Dario Sarge and JK and Moody, GP2, B Pod. I don't think Lester will see the floor like that. But yeah. You know who we didn't see? We didn't see Corey Joseph as well, but I think he was hurt, right? Was he injured?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
he'll be back.
He's
though.
probably gonna see minutes. He's probably gonna see minutes too because he's a veteran, and that kind of sucks. So we don't really need him to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah,
We do,
Back up.
yeah. I think what we
alright.
do need is yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask what were your takeaways from yesterday? Anything good? Anything bad? What did you see?
We were clicking really well, honestly. A bunch of the role players showed up. I loved JK definitely. Moses Moody had a really good game.
Yeah,
a
he
bunch
did.
Of,
He did.
bunch of the bench pieces just fit really well, honestly.
nah, I agree. I'm not gonna lie to you. The bench was really, really well. The bench was the only time I actually got to see rim pressure for real. So yeah, a lot
that was
of
pretty good.
jump shooting from the starters. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, man. The more I watch CP, the more I start to believe a little bit, and then I have to stop watching CP. So I have to refrain to stay a hater. So
You were
that's
shameless. You were actually shameless.
you literally said I hate CP3 publicly. by the
Okay,
way. So,
wait. I'm gonna go around. I'll ask everybody
Okay.
this question. I'll start.
So how am I shameless?
All right, KB. I'm gonna ask this question. So really quick. Gifted. I'll start with you. We'll go around.
Sure.
After yesterday, right? And I don't know about you two that just came in, but what your thoughts were before, like on Chris Paul versus now. But Gifted, tell me how bought in are you now after watching one game? As far as like not like personal agenda, but more so like okay, like I can actually see this working out. I sort of like this on a scale of like 1 to 10.
You
Probably
want to
like
go?
a 6. I mean,
A
like
6?
it hasn't really changed much at all. I think
Okay.
that we needed to have a higher sample size, but Chris Paul can definitely fit in terms of the way he can pass the ball off the bounce, how quickly he can relocate and get into a 2-man game with Looney was very impressive, but it's not really different from how I thought it will look. The question is, once you're 30 games in, how does he adjust to being in that 5-man unit? I don't think he should start, but I think he will start. How is that going to look? Is he going to still be holding on to the ball too long? Because right now, this is the honeymoon phase, right? Everyone can, pass more, not hold the ball, fine. But once you get 30 to 40 games in, you start to go back to who you're used to being as a pro. So seeing that from Chris Paul, that's going to be the growing pains of the season, I think.
I thought Chris Paul looked good out there. I didn't really know how it was gonna work at first, but I like the balance it'll bring to like the offense because you could just run simple off ball screens for Steph and Clay, and let Chris Paul just run the pick and roll. It looked crazy last night because I was like, this is exactly what they're gonna do in the playoffs. They're gonna run Looney with CP, pick and roll, had an off-ball action with them. It's easy going to be an easy layup or just a simple Chris Paul mid-range every time. It's just how is their defense going to hold up? That's my only
Right.
question.
And you know what's interesting? I agree with you. Like the smart plays, the quick passes, the pick and roll, like that is Warriors basketball. And what I like the
Yep.
most actually is that we finally had that playmaking and that Warriors ball movement that we know and love so much. And that really is like the core of what our team is, except we just didn't see that last season. It was missing and it felt so forced. Like that's what I kept watching when I watched the game last night. I was like, this doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. It feels easy. Especially with like a perfect mix of vets and young guys on the floor. It just felt
Especially with
amazing.
Chris Paul over Jordan
Yeah,
Poole
yeah,
to being there to balance when shit is getting crazy. Just Chris Paul, he gonna come down, slow the tempo down, and that'll be good for Clay and Steph. Because sometimes y'all just keep running. Y'all don't have somebody that'll come in and like control the pace. So
Yeah.
Chris Paul will be good for that too.
Agreed. Sebastian, how about you? Where are you on a scale?
I really liked Chris Paul yesterday, but I think we gotta give it some time. We gotta see how it works in the regular season. But I'll be at a 7 right now.
Okay. That's good. I mean, I could have said like a 2, not really, like maybe a 4. But after what I saw yesterday, I think I'm about a 6. Like it's just more so like let's just say it does end up working out, and we're like, oh, this is kind of flawless, and then he gets injured, and then it's just like we're back to
That's really the only concern.
Yeah.
He's gonna get hurt.
exactly.
I really
wouldn't
think
get
y'all
hurt
will
as
be
much
a
if you
solid 6,
don't
like 4
start.
through 6 seed. I got y'all at the 6. It just like I said, y'all defense. How are y'all gonna defend?
Okay. Are you a Dubs fan or are you Laker fan? Or just a
I'm a
basketball fan? We got the opposite
You know,
here.
Don't worry,
it's
he
gonna
got his
get
own
tough.
problem, man. After seeing Christian Wood
Okay.
play, he got his own problems.
Yeah,
Trust me.
okay. Give us a little feedback on that. Like how are you feeling?
The Lakers. All right. So from game 1 last night, we should not have drafted whoever that point guard is.
Yeah, see, look.
I said, man, we could have drafted somebody else. We should have traded up and tried to get Hawkins or something, man. I don't know, but
Y'all could have drafted Cam, right? They could have drafted Cam.
I think so.
Oh, they could have drafted Cam. You're right. I
Yeah.
think.
So I think he was like indecisive. He was holding the ball too much, trying to run pick and roll every time. Like let Max Christie get the ball, let somebody else get the ball. But Christian Wood, he was playing for fouls. He wasn't really trying. Cam Reddish, he just looked. His game is just so like easy, smooth to where every time he plays, just look like he don't care. So he was out there messing up, but I like what he did on defense. He had a good like few swats at the ball, good defensive instincts. Rui looked the same to me. 1-2 dribble, get to the rack, and just throw it up there. He got to get some dribble moves, man. He been with LeBron, so I don't know if that's the best for his bag, but he
It's
needs
not.
strength conditioning.
We know LeBron don't got no bag for real,
Yeah,
but it's okay though.
Everybody, they looked all right.
Shots
Jackson Hayes
fired.
looked solid. AD looked better. His jumper looked way better. He gets to that 3-point line, just pull it, no hesitation now. Instead of him just catching it, thinking about it, then shooting it. D'Lo looked the same. He looked. It's just really about what are we gonna do come playoff time. The rotations and stuff, Darvin he got to figure it out. We can't be out there with. We don't got the 3-guard rotation no more. We really don't ever need to do that unless we absolutely somebody gets injured or something. But
And he's still talking about doing that too.
He's crazy. There's no reason we should at anything. I think we should just let Brian run point guard. Let him run point. Let AR run it when he's not on the floor, and just let AR flourish when every time Brian is not on the court. That's what I think we should do.
I think at this point, AR needs to have the ball in his hands more. I think LeBron is trying to transition fully into that off-ball role. And I think last year in the playoffs, AR was such a productive player, but there would be so many times where it would be LeBron, even Dennis Schroeder taking the ball out of his hands. And it's like, no, like trust AR in that role to do those things. Because if you put LeBron back at the point guard spot, you're going to be taxing him, and he's already an older veteran player. Getting off ball is how LeBron is going to extend his prime years moving forward to me.
I can understand both sides. I just like LeBron more in the point guard role. Let him run the offense. Let him just run the offense. We don't need you to do nothing too crazy. We got the shooting for you. We got AD here. If everybody's healthy, we got enough around you to where you could just literally come up, set the offense up, go set a screen and post up on the block. That's all he really needs to do at this point. it's just really dependent. Is AR gonna step up, or is he just in the Laker land with all the hype?
I think he will. I think AR is that guy that you can definitely put trust in, and he seems like he's willing to kind of step
He
up.
showed
But
it on Team USA too. He was out there.
Apparently
yeah,
he's the top rated player in the league. So
yeah.
you know.
This is kind of outside of Dubs and Lakers, but I have a question. That I was talking to somebody about this the other day. A team that comes to mind that could either be hella good or hella bad this season
I already know you're
is
talking about. I already know you're talking
you
about.
do.
I feel like I know
You
who
guys
you're talking
know?
about. Too.
I feel like I do. I'm gonna let you listen. I'm gonna let you
Go
say.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay,
say it, but-
okay. The Timberwolves. Is that who you guys?
I
are
knew it.
thinking?
I knew it. Yes.
Because they have all the pieces. Ant is now, he's in that point where it's like, all right, are you going to take that leap as well? They have Cap, they have Gobert, they have a solid Nas Reed, right? It's a great team, but is it going to work with Karl Anthony Towns and or Anthony Edwards on the same team? And I think the season is going to be the deciding factor in whether they go separate ways, or if this thing ends up working. So
Hey, Gifted, I'm gonna let you go, but I think what's his name? Ticket. He said Drew Holiday on that team would not be good. He wouldn't like it. I think he would do wonders with that team. Him and
Which
Anthony
team?
I'm not worried.
Edwards.
He talking about the Timberwolves, yeah.
I'm talking about the team.
Oh.
I just thought that was crazy because I think him and Ant would
Hmm.
be ridiculous.
Man, look,
But y'all go ahead.
listen. I'm on wax saying this. I've said this to KB in multiple spaces. I've said this on Playtrum. I say this everywhere I go. The Timberwolves are going to be a good team this year, and I felt that last year. But Cat missed the majority of the season, and I kept saying when they came back at the end, that team could match up with any team in the West. They had the size. The question was fitting them together offensively, and they were starting to figure things out. Jaden McDaniels, bro, I'm telling you right now, man, his defense in these first two preseason games, he looked spectacular. He looked very, very tall,
Did he get snubbed last year?
6'11", and he shot 40% from three last year on good enough volume. Like, they just have good talent, and especially if Anthony Edwards is figuring out how to probe the defense better and get to that open mid-range shot, he can make the spacing work with Gobert in the pick and rolls. And it looks like Cat is getting back to having that offensive freedom that he used to have before. Because to me, Cat is still the best offensive player on this team. You can meme Cat all you want or whatever, but he's still the best offensive talent. So having him fit in with Anthony Edwards and the roster that they have, this can be a very good team because they're going to have the size over you every single night. And they have length at every spot. I mean, dude, Jaden 6'11", Gobert.
Wait, did he
7'11".
actually grow?
Right.
I mean, he actually grew.
Jaden actually grew. If you watched him, bro,
I didn't watch.
He actually grew. Yeah, bro, it's crazy to watch, bro. He does not look like a real player out there, KB. Like, it's
6'11" is crazy.
It's OD. It's OD, bro. Yes.
Does he have
It's
what's
crazy.
his wingspan? Y'all know his wingspan?
I think he's like. I'm gonna look it up.
7.5.
Let me look this up real quick.
I feel like he has an extremely long wingspan, but no, I think Haley's right. Like, this team has it's weird. They're very unpredictable, and they're very like just a underdog team in a sense of they have everything they need. They just need their main guys to kind of take leaps, especially AE, because Ant just needs to take that leap as an offensive player. I think defensively he'll be fine. He'll just get adjusted and become a much better guard defender as well too. Like, he's already shown the ability to play defense, know how to play lanes and things of that nature. So, but offensively, I think him becoming a much better decision maker out of the pick and roll, finding the lob threat in Rudy Gobert, finding the seams, because he can, by you just getting more reps in with your offense, you will get better, especially a guy like Ant. I don't have any doubt in my mind that as a scorer he'll become more efficient. But just as a passer, becoming a better distributor, being a guy who can handle the ball in the pick and roll scenario to kind of find offense, find your sets is important. Cat shown last year that he was a much more willing passer. Like, he's very solid out the post. Like, he makes decisions. Yep. He doesn't mind doing that offensively. I think he just needs to buy in and lock in defensively and understand that, okay, if Ant is going to take this leap as a player offensively, I need to hone in on my defense and become a much better defender. So that way I'm not a liability.
A liability.
Yeah.
I think Ant get too trigger happy sometimes, or just jumper happy. Once he get to that point where I think he get to that point like D Wade and Brian in like 2012, they're like, we're not gonna shoot no jumpers. We're just gonna drive to the rack every time. I really don't care who's in front of me. I think Ant need to get to that point like, I'm 6'5", 6'4", like 220. He got some size on him.
By the way,
So
Jaden has a 6'11" and a half wingspan.
that's crazy.
Oh, so it's the same as
Yeah.
his height. Okay, it's
That's
not
crazy.
Bro, it's up.
Yeah. I think
it's
and
crazy.
just once he like KB said, his decision making, just get downhill more. You don't got to come up and tween jumper every time or just to show him that you can shoot. We know you can shoot it. You'll get hot, but get to the rack. Get you a little few mid range jumpers or something going.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
What about another question I've gotten a lot recently is the Phoenix Suns and more so that big three that they have going on, right? So I guess my question is, do you have Devin Booker in your top 10 players this upcoming season? Because, right, obviously we know that some of the scoring that they all would typically get on maybe as a star or a second option on another team, they'll now be splitting more of a three ways or, even more so with the rest of the guys on that roster. So what are your thoughts with Devin going into the season? Because it was only 2 seasons ago that he was in the MVP conversation, even though it was later in the season, we kind of just threw him in there because he asked for it. He was in the conversation. So where do you see him fitting in this season?
Not top 10. I don't think he's fringe. He's like between 11 and 14 for me. He's fringe top 10.
Okay.
Now, if you're doing injury tags and if guys are unhealthy, he might be in top 10 because of other people just not being healthy. But if everyone's primarily healthy in the season, like you still have, let me count real quick. You still have Steph, Giannis, Jokic, KD, Luka, JT, Embiid, Kawhi, AD, and I'm missing one player.
Bron.
Did you say bro?
Oh yeah,
Bron, what the hell?
Bron. I don't know. I forgot about Bron. You still have like all 10 of those guys when healthy are just better than Devin Booker.
What do you got KD over a book after the playoff run he just had?
Yeah, he's still a better player than him. I'm not buying.
But see, that's a conversation. I mean,
I'd
realistically, have a better season.
Book is stepping up defensively for sure now.
A lot of the reason as to why Devin Booker was able to do that is because like that KD gravity is real. Like as a scorer and him drawing multiple defenders. So like he was shot creating crazy. Don't get me twisted, but don't get it twisted. But Devin Booker was feeding off of that KD play.
Crazy though. The shot making
Booker was unbelievable.
It was, but KD's still better. I just can't do that off of a series. So
I'd probably say at this point they got to be at least equal. Or KD's just a little, just a
like,
slight bit better.
They might be like a 1
I think just because his skill set is a bit vaster than Booker, even though in his older age, I think KD just what he can do physically is gonna top Book. But that was the question. Another person though that comes to mind is Kyrie. People are tripping out about how I've been feeling about Kyrie, and it's fine. I understand. I just don't have a lot of faith in him this season. But am I wrong to be sleeping on Kyrie this upcoming season?
Yeah,
yes.
You are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. He's. I think among the believers that Dallas will work. I just think they're missing a few pieces. I think the dynamic of Luka and Kyrie will work because you have someone who is a great advantage creator, a great passer, a great playmaker, a guy who can initiate offense, and you have someone who's a great off-ball scorer who can feed off of that, right? Now, if you incorporate the right things via ball movement, shooting, things of that nature, certain actions, you could have a system where Kyrie and Luka both flourish off of each other's game very well. And they just need a few pieces. Like, we want to see how Lively's going to work with them. You want to see how Grant is going to work with them. Are they going to be like, they need more wings? They need more 3-and-D guys who are willing to play in a ball movement system. You need a system where like the ball will move a little bit more, especially coming out of Luka's hands as well. And Luka has to be a little bit more willing as an off-ball player too. So that way the offense has more flow and it'll give him even more freedom as an offensive player to flourish as well. But you just need a few more things, and I genuinely think you can unlock Kyrie even more. Because Kyrie is still an easy 25 a game scorer on like very good efficiency. So I'm a believer for sure.
I guess I'm kind of confused about what you mean when you say should I be awake on Kyrie, because in terms of what, like he'll hoop, sure, but I mean
in terms of being I mean, he is a second option on that team.
Like
So in
being
terms of being a
available?
consistent and effective second option on the Dallas Mavericks for the extent of next season and the playoffs, can we trust
think
that?
he's definitely a top 5 second option. Easily. As long as he's there, he's going to produce. He's going to be 27, 25,
Okay.
27, about 40, 48 to 50, 38 to 40 from 3. So, yeah, he's going to produce. He's probably one of the best second options in almost the league.
Okay.
I think if you're questioning like how consistent he'll be in terms of games played, I think that's a fair question to have, though.
Yeah.
Is
I
it?
just think it's really Jason
Yes.
Kidd to mix up the
KB.
offense.
Yes.
Yes, it is, KB.
Come
I
on.
don't
Like,
know,
why are we
man.
just acting like he's going to be the I don't know. I guess that's my thing. But speaking of second options, I actually asked this on my Twitter the other day. Who are your top like 3, 4 second options? And let's take Jaylen Brown off the table, and let's take, I guess, is Kevin Durant a second option?
No, he's not.
That's Booker's team.
No.
I'm saying, yeah,
No.
KD
That's
is
Booker's
now.
team.
KD's
What
second
are we
What's
gonna
wrong
say?
with y'all? What is? Huh?
That's
Yeah,
Devin
he
Booker's
is.
I think,
team.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Yo,
I'm gonna,
Gifted,
okay,
you're-
okay, so
Wait, no,
yeah.
wait. I just wanted to let me know. Gifted, you're hearing this, right? I'm not the only
Yeah, this
one.
is funny.
Okay.
I'm a little confused because how does KD go from this guy that people tell me is better than Jokic during the regular season?
I don't
When he
know
gets
who says
traded
that.
to the Suns, they said that okay, now he has Booker, and then off one playoff run, now Booker's like
Not
by
even run
far better than
series.
KD.
One series.
I thought he was better before too, though.
Did everyone forget about the Clipper series? Like just
I
prior?
thought Booker was better than KD in the Clipper series.
Nah, I don't think so. But
I
thought he
think so.
was.
nah,
He was.
I'm
I
not
think he
gonna lie.
was.
I thought he was.
I just
I
don't
can't
think
say
that
someone
one
is
playoff
better.
run makes him
who
better.
said
I can't say
KD
someone is
over
better
Jokic.
than someone
Right.
offensively when the other person makes better as a better
It's not-
passer.
I'm
as a
not
better
saying he's really
playmaker,
like better
and is still a
offensively,
better
but
scorer.
who's the
No, but if you're
who's the
asking me who's better than who in the playoff series, I think Booker had a phenomenal, production. I still don't think
then I get
that run
yeah,
makes him
but
better.
even
Though.
you could still argue KD was. You could have an argument that KD was better than him in the Clipper series. Like you could still
I think
argue.
KD's a better overall scorer, but who I just think like because we know KD
He's
doesn't
a better
need
passer
1,000
too.
shots to get like that's really what
I
I'm
don't know.
with.
You think
Because
Devin Booker's a
KD
better passer than KD?
I think Booker's passing is very
They're
high
both
level.
good passers. I think KD's a better one though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but like, sorry, what's the margin on that though? Because I don't think it's by like some crazy margin.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
it's
not.
I don't even
I
think
think
he's
he's
a better
better,
passer
and I
than me.
think-
I don't know.
I think he's better, and I think he's a much better playmaker because of the fact that he's way better at creating advantages because of the fact that he can score so well. So like,
But I think that
teams-
Booker gets downhill better than KD to create
'cause
opportunities.
I don't
because-
think it's a big gap.
I don't
'cause
think
Book
you.
was
If you
playing
go
point
back and
forward.
rewatch that series, they weren't
did.
collapsing on Devin Booker drives that heavy like that. Like they weren't. They wanted him to get off of that like midi and actually try to drive. Actually, matter of fact, a lot of the games were just elite, crazy shot making. He wasn't getting to the basket crazy in general. Like he was just shot heavy and it was hidden because he was just unconscious. But like he was still feeding off of the fact that when KD was in mid post and he was doing his actions, they were shading and there were literally times helping off of Devin Booker's man. And KD would swing one pass away for easy Devin Booker 3. So
I'm
I'm
not
not
denying
sitting
that like
here-
the KD gravity was there, but I don't think it's fair to just say, oh well, all of the advantages.
I never said
that
all. I never
Booker-
said all. I never said all.
No, I never said you did. I'm saying it's sounding like that to me because you're saying because of KD's gravity, that's why Booker was able to look the way that he did. I think that the crazy
A part of it.
right.
For sure.
I think that the crazy shot making, but the natural passing talent that Booker already has, and his speed in terms of how he's able to quickly get to his pull up and the rim is still there. He was getting to the rim at a pretty good level, but because he's so quick, he was able to leverage that to get to his mid range as well. My bigger point, though, because I don't want to get sidetracked, is I still don't think one playoff run is enough to say that he's better. Sorry, that he's better than KD.
No, he's
I
not.
wouldn't say
not
that.
better than KD. I just think that when you look at the team, KD doesn't need that many shots to get off. So KD's probably going to get you 33 on like 17 to 18 shots. Meanwhile, Booker probably going to get you. He's probably going to score more than KD because even when KD got there, those 8 games, Devin Booker was still putting up like 36 a game.
Yeah.
And so
But-
Devin Booker is not a better scorer. It's just he's going to have more bulk of the shots because of how KD plays and how he
But
flows.
if you know that So if you know that the volume of the shots you're taking or how much you're scoring isn't really gonna matter because you know who the better scorer is, why put him over KD even in the system? It just doesn't make sense. Even with your own
Well,
logic.
what is the
Because
first?
he's
Well,
making. Oh, go ahead.
what is the first option? I guess define that in your point of view, KB.
A guy's
Before
your
we can
first
tell.
go-to in terms of like scoring the basketball, or your first option in general is like usually just your best player. Like, so your go-to offensively and then defensively is like as a guy who on that end of the
The
floor.
first
So it's
option
just
for me would
a
be
general first
Ooh.
option. But an offensive first option is like your scorer, your guy who's initiating. Like most of the offensive work, who's going to be the first option, the best option? And I think it's KD. I still think
think
he's a better
based off
scorer.
what KD has shown us these last two playoff series, who are you trusting more to make a difficult shot at this stage of their career right now? I'm
Kevin
taking
Durant.
Booker.
Kevin Durant.
I'm taking Book right now. We don't know if KD gonna hold up. He before he even came into the playoffs, he was in.
I don't think rating physical shot making means much of anything though, because that's just variance.
I'm still taking KD. I just I'm the
I
guy
just
was
don't
shooting
think
all-time numbers from the
hitting-
mid-range, and then the
Because
postseason couldn't
KD
make
relies
the
on difficult shots, especially from the mid range. So if he's not hitting those at the same clip anymore, you still just gonna hold him to this what he is or what he
Yeah.
was. But he's
I
not
am.
that anymore. That's what he was.
I
He's
am.
not
I
doing
still think very highly of KD. I think he's still a very good basketball player. So
that's respectable.
him being in Devin Booker conversations, I actually find a bit nasty. But yeah.
It's not that we're putting the thing
Not
is
that
maybe
nasty.
it's not that
we know KD.
it's not that we're putting him in the same conversation. I think all time it's very obvious that KD is, far superior all time. But as of right now, as of current, going into the season,
Yeah, but no one's talking about all time though. Right now, he's still better than
whose
Booker.
team? Who's the number one option?
It's
KD.
Booker's team, but KD's the better player. I don't understand.
KD is your first option.
How old is KD?
Yeah, Booker.
I would say
36?
Book is the first option.
He's 36.
That's just my opinion. I would.
And I also don't think like I don't know.
You can't really go wrong with either. They both gonna get you 30.
Yeah, exactly. And so I guess, and then add Bradley Beal into that. I don't know how's Bradley Beal's passing. Like, what does that look like? Is he much of a passer or?
I couldn't tell you. I actually couldn't tell you.
I
can't.
would run Book at the one and let Bill. I don't. Is Bill like? Is he decent catch and shoot? Like,
That's what
he's a good. Like as a catch and shooter, he's actually a very good one. So
I feel like I haven't seen Bill really play like.
I think
It's
Beal
been a
at
minute.
the point makes the most sense here though, because you fear Booker and KD off the ball more than Beal.
I would agree with that too, but I would just run Book at the one because he really did it. He had to do it, and I think he could run it. He can run it well. He can run it effectively.
yeah, that is true. I just think Beal as an off-ball guy will be fine for them. I actually think their offense will be very, very good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think
Really just gonna be a whole bunch of dribble pull up, come off the screen pull up, dribble pull up, step back it's gonna be crazy watching them play.
I believe in their offense at all. Now their defense is where I start to question because there's really a lot of
At front court, Nurkic. Oh my goodness,
it's not good.
It's not good.
good.
That's another big man that's actually like offensively for them is not bad. He's actually like he passes the ball at the post well.
Them, like,
He knows how to operate in a pick and roll. He's a good short roll passer. So like he's all right offensively. Defensively, he is garbage.
Especially if he gonna hit the three. If Nurkic gonna hit the three and get them space in the letting them wiggle in the mid range, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, Nurk is I love him, but yeah, in Portland he's been a drag for sure. Okay, I want to kind of move it back to the Warriors. I'll put the link back in the chat to you guys if anybody else wants to come on.
What was that? I actually had a question for y'all.
All right, you guys, I just sent that.
Since you've seen like, how would y'all feel like the lineup we saw tonight, the starting lineup that y'all saw? Would y'all be comfortable with that in a postseason setting?
Golden State?
Yeah. The starting lineup you just saw right now.
Y'all had everybody except Draymond, right? So
yeah.
Clay at the 4, Wiggins at the 3, Looney at the 5. It just depends on who y'all play, boy. Because if y'all play the Lakers with that size up there, boy, it's gonna be trouble for y'all. But if y'all play, I don't know. It really just depends on the matchup. Because I think
I'm not gonna lie, I do agree. I think matchup. It really relies on
all
matchup
it is.
for us.
It's really just the matchup. Because if y'all play the Suns, hell yeah, y'all can run that. Boy, I'm not worried about no damn Nurkic. Run it. Y'all gonna run him.
That is
like-
very true.
But like
I'm
a
not gonna
Lakers
lie.
matchup with LeBron with AD, like that's a matchup that scares me. Nuggets
again.
don't really scare me. I mean, Jokic always is difficult, but
Nah,
yeah.
the Nuggets scare me more than the Lakers. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, bro. I'll be honest. Nuggets scare me.
Yeah, the
way more.
Nuggets
That's
are.
that's fair. That's fair to say
yeah.
because how Jokic is just so crazy right
Oh,
now.
Aaron
Agreed, actually, he
Gordon's-
can. No offense, the Lakers can produce offensively, but not to the levels of the Nuggets at all. And like
I don't.
defensive,
I think we'll be what. So if y'all think the Nuggets will probably be what, the best offense in the league?
up there for sure.
I think the Kings are going to be the best offense again.
What's up, Lee?
Here, this
Yeah.
nigga.
Yo, where y'all think?
I
the
just
Lakers
put the
will be?
jersey on, Gifted. Just go ahead, put it on, bro. Put the jersey on.
My boy Lee, I ain't see you in a minute, my boy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just listening to everything that's y'all saying. Just want to go quickly team by team. The Suns, outside of the Nuggets, I'll be highly surprised if the Nuggets even make it back to the conference finals. I would be very, very shocked.
Highly
That just-
surprised.
Really?
I would be. Look, listen. And I'm gonna say this. Listen, I think the Nuggets, what they did last year, to me was one of the biggest anomalies in the history of basketball. To have that, it was an anomaly, and let me tell you why. To have basically somewhat of like the 6 or 7 man rotation that they had with a center, basically anchoring and being the best playmaker in the league, as we all know him to be. And having that
That's
play
gonna
style,
continue to happen.
but winning a championship with that play style, to me, that's more of an anomaly. Now, if he could do it again,
I get what you're saying.
now if he could do it again, I would be highly shocked. To me, this is the Suns. It's basically the Suns' West to lose to me, like
The
because
nah,
Suns?
these-
see,
The Suns-
that's
Faith in the
that's
Suns.
why I disagree
Wow,
completely.
the
now,
Suns
yeah.
to lose,
Please.
but we're just gonna disregard the Denver Nuggets.
Please.
That's
I'm
crazy.
not no. I'm not disregarding the Denver Nuggets. I'm just going off the basis that the Denver Nuggets basically gave up Bruce Brown with no
True.
problem and didn't. What did they do? What did they do? Who did they replace him with? Who is they?
There's gonna
sixth
be more
guy?
MPJ jumpers. Gonna be
They
more
grooming the young
MPJ.
guys. They
So-
grooming the young guys. Christian Braun.
Okay.
By
Yeah.
clocking
Okay,
him.
all right.
By clocking him.
Christian Braun, Peyton Watson.
MPJ might not produce with all them shots he gonna get now, but it's gonna be a lot
To
of
make up on the
MPJ.
defensive end.
Like no
Granted,
one's gonna be
hey,
taking
hey,
advantage
listen.
of those problems though.
Everything
Who's gonna
that
be
y'all
taking advantage
saying,
of the problem of the fact that Bruce Brown is gone? Who?
exactly.
Michael
Yeah,
Porter
so
gonna be happy as hell.
everything that y'all saying is granted. Listen,
Christian Braun.
more MPJ jump shots, more Jamal Murray, more Christian Braun, whatever the case may be. I'm just
Bruce-
saying,
Bruce
based
Brown
off of
can
what
affect
we,
their shots.
all right, but based off what the Suns basically pulled off in these last couple of weeks, they basically built a bench out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
They
Because
did.
now they got, because now they
A
got
bench.
they got somebody. They got some pieces off their bench now. Like we ain't gonna
You
say
worried?
like
You worried about Lil Yuta and who they got? Nasir
Wait,
Little.
they
Yuta,
did good. They won some of the trades. Let me see who they all have now.
You was better. You
They
better.
gotta
off.
go-
bro.
they
There's
gotta
no
go
like.
with the
Look,
Lakers
listen,
West
listen.
The Lakers
I'm
are
a
the
believer in the
Lakers.
Suns, bro. I'm a
They might
believer
be
in the
gassing us a
Suns,
little bit.
but there's no
You're
way.
gassing the hell out of them.
The-
There's no way you're telling me a team with that
okay,
defense
all
that
right.
can't
So
guard.
let me
They don't have a
get to
5 defender.
Grayson Allen. They got Grayson Allen. They got
Hell no. Hell no.
they
Off
got
the bench?
Nasir Little.
off the bench.
He's mid.
Okogie.
He's mid.
Judah.
Off the bench, he's
He's
mid.
mid. At best, he's mid.
Okay,
Hell
it's not great, but they did build a bench
Trust
out
me,
of nowhere. So you have to
taking
give them
Grayson
credit.
Allen off the bench or Rui Hachimura? Which one?
Can I ask y'all something? Offensively, does anybody in here have the Lakers better offensively than the Suns?
No.
They don't need to. Be.
Does anybody in
We
here
gotta-
have the Lakers?
Y'all gotta think about
Hold
it.
on.
No.
Does anybody in here have the Lakers offensively better than the Nuggets?
No.
They don't need to be.
They don't need to be though. So
We're gonna be better defensively. That's the point. The Suns. Who are the Suns defending?
They always
They
will win off
was
defense.
better defensively last year, and they got
No,
swept.
they won't.
They was the Lakers wasn't the best
Oh, I
defensive
thought
team.
you were
after
saying the
February.
Suns. I thought you were saying the Suns was better than the Lakers
Oh, no,
defensively.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
No.
The Nuggets.
But the games
different,
weren't blowouts. The only game that was a blowout was what? When they pulled away game 2 or 3, but they were all close. So what's your point?
But at the same time, we could all admit that the Lakers' problem is closing.
But
Can we admit that?
even with that,
Nah.
still take
But
the
the Suns-
Lakers.
No,
I still take the Lakers over the Suns right now. We haven't seen the Suns play at all.
I think that
The
the Suns are
Lakers
gonna have a
brought back
great.
the same core. We brought back the same core with a few pieces at it. And it might not even get burned. It can really
Got
just
you.
be the same people we brought back.
got you.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. So
I think I
all
might
right,
I might have the Suns over the Lakers.
So
The Lakers
wait.
bench
I don't think that's
wait,
crazy.
So wait,
I don't think that's
so-
crazy to say.
All right. So
I don't think that's
10,
crazy to say neither.
Wait, hold on.
Not
So
crazy to say.
based on
Just
all
a
right,
little
10.
gas.
Wait, 10. Based on where LeBron and AD are, like with LeBron especially, and based on where Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are, bro. Like in terms of putting pressure on defenses night in and night out. We saw them damn near average 80 against the Nuggets, and it wasn't enough. That's what we saw.
And
so
we
if you're telling me that
and you're arguing that it's the Suns.
And we went close games every game with them. Well,
got you. I grant it.
With a healthier Bron, it might be something different. With a better with a Gabe Vincent
With
in
a
there,
healthier Bron at age 39.
If I've ruptured my damn foot, something in my foot, and I don't have that going into the playoffs, it might make a little difference.
If you ruptured your damn foot at age 39, that means it's time to
doesn't
go home.
No, it doesn't. LeBron is not the same as somebody else that's 38, 39. Come on now.
But he's
What's
still
your brain?
prone to
I think-
injury, though.
Yeah, I think we have to
I don't know what
count.
you mean.
Nah, but we're being a little nasty now,
prone
guys.
to injury.
LeBron,
Come on.
even
now.
no.
LeBron,
Even in the Lakers, even in the Nuggets
right,
series.
right,
Hold on. Listen,
I
leave
think
you.
we can all admit that LeBron's injuries at age 39.
He
At
was
age
still
39.
putting pressure on the defense too in the Nuggets series. He just was missing threes. Like, what are we really getting to here, Lee?
He was missing threes because he was exhausted. He couldn't go to the basket no more.
He was tired, too.
That's what it sounds like to me.
He's carrying the load. He's been doing that for a while. Yeah,
So AD ain't doing nothing.
No, I didn't. Nobody said that. I said he's carrying a load. He's carrying a load. LeBron was carrying a load. AD was carrying the defensive load. You know what he was doing game in and game out.
Absolutely.
So who was carrying the offensive load? LeBron.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. In the way that the guards got murdered in that series. The way that the guards got murdered in that series, and it wasn't just by Jamal Murray, aka Kyrie Irving, because that was Kyrie Irving in a light-skinned nigga suit. Excuse my language. I don't believe that was Jamal Murray. I swear I don't. I swear to God I don't. That was Kyrie in a light-skinned dude suit. That's what that was. I don't believe that was Jamal Murray.
It was making some
But that is Jamal Murray, sadly. I don't know what you want me to like. I hear you because he hit crazy shots. I get what you're saying.
Just go wait.
Come on.
Wait. Stop. We're losing track.
What?
How is it the Suns West to lose if you're saying all this?
Wait, and Leaf, can I also ask you, how do you feel about Nurk at the 5 for the Suns? Like, doesn't that worry you at all, or?
I don't think that worries me because the thing is, Nurk is not going to be the distraction that DeAndre Ayton was. That's
a distraction.
Oh
my God.
Okay, but who's better at basketball though?
Distraction.
To me, Gifted. I don't think it's who better at basketball. It's all about who's a better fit. That's
going to be.
Why does Nurkic fit better than Ayton?
I think he's a better fit. I don't think he's better than Ayton.
Okay, but why does he fit better?
I think he fits better because he's not going to demand touches and get lazy and not
what
rebound. What
does that have to do with defense, Leaf?
Yeah, I'm just asking, like, how does he fit to their defense? That's what I'm looking at. I don't think he fits better defensively than Ayton.
I think the defense is self-explanatory, bro. Like I
don't think it is actually.
I think it is because you playing in the West and you got to put up points. Sacramento did it. The Warriors did it for years.
But when you get into a playoff series,
no. Because I'm actually. No. He just said the Warriors did every time the Warriors have went into a contending situation. We have been a good or a very good defense. One,
you got to play defense in playoffs.
Stop. Two, the Nuggets for some reason I don't know why we're like. The Nuggets had one of the highest half-court offensive ratings in NBA postseason history.
They had a good defense too.
And for you to sit here and tell me that Ayton at that 5 will not be an issue the way Jokic was already destroying the Nuggets defense and then the Suns defense last season with no help side defense, with no rotation guys, that's going to be a problem. The Nuggets are going to be putting up crazy points. Insane amount of points.
I don't think the Suns defense is as big as an issue that everybody is making it out to be. I think their offense is going to oversee that. The reason and the reason being is because now you're going to have two guys that's basically you're going to have to account for. And you add Bradley Beal to the mix. You add Nurkic, who could spread the floor to the mix, bro. Like he could shoot the three. You add Nurkic, who could spread the floor to the mix. Now you
No one's worried
We're
about that,
letting
bro.
him shoot. He gonna have to hit
Y'all,
that.
hey,
Bro. He gonna have to.
And,
y'all don't like
no
Drew
one's
Eubanks?
worried
Y'all don't like
about a Nurkic three. Are we serious?
y'all,
Bro, I'm
y'all don't like Drew
double team
Eubanks?
KD off Nurkic. What?
but I think we can all acknowledge that the Suns offensively is gonna be a problem.
And they finna
Yeah.
get
Offensively in the
saying it won't
regular
be a
season,
problem,
come
though. I think
postseason
it's
is
cooked.
where,
Does
yeah.
anybody
I
love
never,
Drew
you know,
Eubanks?
I never disagreed that the Suns' offense is going to be
But
very
but
good.
but,
No one
okay,
actually,
but
no
the
one
issue last year,
argues
hold
this
on.
for some reason. How was the Suns' offensive system going to be with Frank Vogel leading that offensive unit?
Okay, that no, wait. That's
How
nasty because it's not gonna be Frank Vogel. It's gonna be Kevin Young doing that, KB, and you know that.
No. You know Frank Vogel is gonna have some level of say so about that offense, bro.
Okay,
You
but
know
who's
that for
leading
sure.
it? It's not Frank Vogel. It's Kevin Young. Am I right or wrong?
So do you think they're still implementing a lot of what Monty Williams was doing last season?
I think Kevin Young is going to be the architect of their offensive system. Are
That's
you disagreeing
fine,
with
but
that,
how do
KB?
you see that
a
going?
whole bunch of spread, pick and roll.
Was
dribble,
Kevin
pull
Young
up.
their main assistant last year for offensive, like for their main offensive coach, offensive assistants?
I don't think he had as much pull as Monty, considering who has been in charge of their offensive system longer, right?
Okay, so
I
that's
think
what I'm saying. Gifted, how is it going to look like then?
it's going to look like what they run their offense by. What do you mean by that?
But how is it go? How is that going to look if someone like
He
Monty Williams,
doesn't know. He
who's
doesn't.
movement heavy, who knows how to move the ball around in a ball like in a crazy ball movement system, and then you have someone like Greg Vogel come in, who's a bit more stagnant offensively, more defensively sounded coach, and you're saying that Kevin Young is going to be leading this offense in terms of sets, making sets, finding coverages and schemes. How is that going to look?
Okay,
He
I
was there
think that
last
Frank
year.
Vogel.
I think I could tell you a little bit more, bro. Like I think it's gonna work the same way it was working when they only factors in the playoffs in their last series that they was in was Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. But now you basically add Bradley Beal to the mix, and you basically add Nurkic to the mix, and you add shooters and guys that could get a lot more one-on-one opportunities because Kevin Durant, as you said, KB, is gonna draw more attention. Devin Booker is going to have a lot more opportunities to take advantage of one-on-one matchups, just the same way he did in the Denver series. The problem was they just couldn't match them. But Denver, as you said, had one of the best half-court offenses in NBA history, and it ended up leading into a championship. You know what I'm saying? That it ain't nothing you can really do about that. But in the case of this year, I strongly believe that the Suns' offense is going to be the outlier, bro. Like it's going to be the separator for everybody else in the West. I
So what you
strongly
gonna
believe
think
that.
you think they're gonna be like Golden
We
State or some
shouldn't
shit,
question their offense.
And on top of that, no
No,
offense, like the Nuggets had guys that were matching up well with the Suns, even defensively to an extent. Like they
Aaron
had
Gordon
size.
was
Yes, they did.
clamping
Yes,
that
they did.
ass
Yes,
up.
they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They had size for KD. They had
When
guys
when
who
you
were
have Aaron Gordon on KD, and when you have an MPJ, another 6'10" dude, like who could just shoot, or
not
he
even
could just
MPJ. You had guys like Christian Braun
Bruce
giving him
Brown,
trouble
yeah,
shorter
Chris
guys,
Brown to
offensively.
throw it.
Christian
shorter
Braun,
guys
yeah,
look
Christian Braun,
So like
KCP,
Yup.
Jamal Murray. Who,
what the Suns need is someone who could actually get to the rim and expose Jokic and getting downhill, and they still don't have a lot of that. Like I'm not a Devin Booker getting downhill is good, but it's not going to be enough for you to win
They
that
And
just
series.
that's probably
they
what
didn't go to
Bradley
the pick and
Beal.
roll enough. That's the only reason
And
why
Bradley
they
Beal,
lost.
even
Bradley Beal
currently as
is
it is right now,
so
doesn't
you
get to the rim as much as
basically
he can.
saying that they need like somebody that's gonna attack more than like shoot mid ranges.
Yes, you need someone who's
yes.
either an elite pull-up shooter or someone who can get to the basket. So you need that. That's
And
what you
with
need.
KD not being so elite, hitting that motherfucking
So
immediately,
you mean somebody like
Yes,
better do something.
Booker is an
so you
elite
talking
pull-up
about
shooter.
somebody like a Zach LaVine or like an Anthony Rand
Pat Levine,
like an Anthony
Booker,
like Anthony Edwards or some type of player, right?
right?
Someone who can get to downhill. Like the Nuggets paint defense is still like you can still expose it a little bit because Jokic is not a crazy rim protector. And I'm of the believer that believes Jokic in this postseason was a little bit like luck is in a championship regardless, but he didn't really have to play anyone who exposed him defensively like that. And this year, I mean last season, You saw it from Braun in Game 4 when he was actually like somewhat explosive, and I think that's like a glimpse of what you can see come postseason this year if he is healthy. And I just
Bron?
think that
Okay, KB, let me ask you this: is there a player in the West that describes what you're talking about?
yeah, a LeBron when healthy, Steph,
Shit, even
who else?
Anthony Edwards to a lesser degree. Getting downhill, sure.
Getting downhill and getting to the basket too, and isn't it like somewhat, but it has to be more like respectable, and it's like that. Like, Devin Booker
Okay,
can do it.
so it has to be real respectable. So you just gave me a 39-year-old LeBron when healthy, whenever that is, and then you gave me Steph, who is basically going into the golden years of his career, whenever he's going to stay healthy and whenever he's going to be able to make a run. And then you gave me Anthony Edwards, who plays for the damn Timberwolves. So with all of that being said, I go back to what I said initially. I strongly believe that the Phoenix Suns offense alone is going to be the outlier for this year in the West.
So you think it's gonna be something like Golden
You're
State?
missing the point. Yeah, I bring up a few names. That's true, but at the same time, what you need to be able to beat the Nuggets is, you have some of it, but you don't have all of it, and you're going
Damn
to
sure
need that
don't
with
got
a team
defense.
who can legit put up offensive numbers, like the same offensive numbers you can put up on that end, they can put up on the other end, but they have better defensive pieces than you do. That's the difference. That's literally the difference.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Via rim
Or
or via literally elite pull-up shooting, you don't have. You don't have it.
Salute the panel and channel. Shout to H. I follow you on Fluent and Chill. I'll be watching y'all. Shout out to the whole panel. I just wanted to say I think the better teams in the NBA average 25 plus assists a game, or like around that area. I think that's the standard in the NBA is to average 25 plus assists, and I just don't see the Suns doing it. I see, KD. I see a lot of shot creators, like they score for themselves. I mean, not shot creators, but they know how to score for themselves. And Bill Booker and KD, but they will have to answer. They will to you know what I'm saying? They would have to be almost a point guard. You know what I mean? And I just don't see Booker and Bill comfortable playing that facilitating. And I don't see them averaging 25 to 30 assists. That's my opinion.
Let me ask you a question. Last year in the playoffs, man, like, do you believe that Devin Booker flashed as a playmaker last year in the playoffs?
He was making plays for himself. You know what I'm saying? So that's good.
So a playmaker though.
So, but I mean, as a playmaker, as a playmaker and as a facilitator guy, bro, do you think that he flashed last year? Because he had games where he had 30 and 10 assists, and KD had 30 and 10 rebounds.
Yeah, but we talking about an 82 game season. I mean, what's the biggest assist that Booker and Bill had per season? Like a whole 82 game season to be able to facilitate. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do y'all agree with me that the better teams average 25 assists or more in the NBA?
I mean, I say it's better.
I think the Warriors is definitely up there.
Yeah.
Offensively, like offensive rating wise, all teams don't just add. I mean, how many assists you just said to be an efficient offense? If you have, great players.
But are the Phoenix Suns built around not playmaking and not having that many assists and like you said, getting to the rim? Like I just don't see them. They're such a high scoring team. I think that's going to be essential for them to actually have success in the.
Going to be dribble pull up city.
But we talking about some of the best shot creators in the league. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the cream of the crop in terms of shot creators and shot creation with KD and Devin Booker alone.
But that's their instinct, Leaf. They instinct say shoot the ball, not pass the ball. You know what I mean?
But so I think they instincts say if we got a one-on-one. I think they instincts say if we got a one-on-one, I know what I'm doing, and ain't nobody gonna stop me one-on-one. That's what I think their instincts are, and we've seen that one-on-one matchups. If you playing them one-on-one all day, I don't listen. And KB, you mentioned the Nuggets. You threw in the Nuggets, and that was a good outlier, bro. Like
I'm not gonna lie to you. Even the Warriors have pieces to be able to slow down that offense.
All right, now we going too far.
I'm legit not.
Now we going too
Wiggins
far.
is doing damage.
I don't understand. So
now we going too far.
You have. Let me name some defensive pieces we have. You have Draymond. You have Wiggins. You have Kuminga. You have GP2. You still have Looney to an extent is still a good defensive player. Who else do you have on the wing that I'm missing? You have Moody as well. You still have guys defensively who are actually very good, especially Wiggins. Like the three that I just named, the Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond, those three
That's
are
gonna be
very like
crazy.
versatile defenders. And on top of that,
I think Draymond is more of an anchor than anything. Wiggins I take seriously. Kuminga, I don't know how Steve Kerr feels about implementing him in that lineup because a lot
You
of
need to give him some
one of the
burns,
you feel
man.
good.
yeah
You
yeah
know, so he did this.
because he wasn't
you're
getting
done.
PT because he was barely getting PT last year, and I'm thinking to myself, do he not know the system or whatever the case may be? And I know a lot of Warriors fans was questioning that too. I
I
personally
wasn't. I was
believe.
actually saying start him. But
He
anyways,
probably
I
just
think
wanted
I'm
to
not
roll
gonna
with
lie
the
to
guy.
you. You don't want to hear my take if we play the Suns. But like, it's cool though. I guess we'll just agree to disagree. You feel me? It's cool.
All right, man.
Looney versus Nurkic. Whew, don't get started. Don't get
Oh,
me.
Leaf. Are we
Don't
really
get
gonna
me
have this
started.
conversation? Nerd.
Said Looney versus Nurkic. Nah, listen.
Not
Hey,
to
listen.
mention,
Look,
I'm
Nerd,
not
look,
Nerd,
gonna lie.
look,
Nerd,
look.
he's
Not
not
to
like that
mention
Hold on.
anymore.
Wait
He is
a
not like
second.
that.
what we would do to that
Wait a
defense.
second. Wait a
Oh
second.
my
Wait a
god.
second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. I got all the respect for Looney in these past 2 years, bro. A lot of them
Here
big
comes the
games that
butt.
he
Here comes the
had.
butt.
A lot of them big games, bro, that he
But
had.
what?
Wait, hold on. A lot of them big games that he had in terms of rebounds, he was damn near looking like Bill Russell on the boards, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. If he don't grab them 20-something rebounds, Steph does not come close to that 50. I'm positive.
And against the Suns, what's gonna
But he
stop him
did
from
though.
getting 20 rebounds again?
And against
Josh Okogie, I guess.
against the Suns, bro. Like we acting like
Josh
Kevin Durant.
Okogie.
We acting like Kevin Durant don't rebound.
Kevin
We acting
Durant gonna
like
get his little boards, but if Looney down there, he boxing out damn near both of their ass.
Yeah, Leaf.
I mean,
Nurk.
I
When was
think
the last good season that Nurkic had?
KD don't want to get down there and
all
bang
right.
with Looney,
First,
man. He gonna mess
hold
around
on.
And on top of that, y'all cannot the Suns
Wait a
defensively.
second. Wait a second. Wait
On
a
paper,
second.
the way they look,
Hold
can't
on.
lose.
Hold on,
Just
bro.
saying.
I think we taking this Looney thing a little bit too far. First off, he played
Are
against
we?
KD not rebounded by
I
Draymond.
think
Are we?
I think we are. First off, he played against a Sacramento team, bro. That has Sabonis with a broken hand. That's one. Two. The other one where he was supposed to
He's
win
a better
Western Conference
rebounder than
MVP.
Nurkic.
Where he was supposed to win Western Conference MVP, and they gave it to
Hmm?
Steph. They was playing against the Dallas Mavericks. Who they got on the boards? Go ahead, remind me again. Thank you. All right. So my thing is like
So
Looney,
you're just
bro.
not
Like
gonna bring up him rebounding well against the Lakers? Okay, cool. That's cool. So you're
rebound.
not gonna
Yeah,
bring. You're
yeah.
not. Wait.
That's
You're
cool.
not. You're not
That's
gonna
cool.
bring up.
Versus
Wait.
the
No.
That's
Hold
Lakers.
on. Leaf. Hold on.
no.
Leaf.
That's
Hold on. Leaf. Hold on.
I'm about to get there. Hold on. Wait.
So you're not gonna
KD,
bring up him rebounding and out rebounding the Memphis Grizzlies in 2022 with a healthy Steven
Nancy
Adams.
Ball.
You're not
That's
gonna
fine.
He held his own against AD
Like,
too.
you see how
That
niggas like
That's
the
fine.
people like the context, man. That's what
That's
they like to
all
do.
fine,
That
bro.
don't
Like the Lakers series, I put null and void, bro, because it didn't make no difference. Like
I mean,
he
he got
did
sick.
board well. He did
What?
board. No, don't get me wrong.
When
He
he
did
sick?
board well, but
He
he
talking.
did board well. But the thing is, bro, like when you dealing with a big body like Nurkic, just to remind y'all, bro, Nurkic, bro, was on that Denver team with Joker, bro. By the way, bro, and they made him, and both of them was on the block, and the Portland Trailblazers ended up taking Nurkic. By the way, just wanted to throw that out there, but. We acting like
Yeah.
Nurkic is small, like he's not small on the boards. One of the things that these European players do a lot well is they board. They might not protect the win, they might not move their feet on defense, but they
He
board
can
well.
rebound the ball. Yeah.
Kevin Looney is a
How
workhorse
else can you
though. He
explain
more
How
agile.
else can you
I mean,
explain Joker that
that's
can't
his
jump
best
over a sheet of
attribute
loose
right
leaf
now.
paper, still outboarding AD? If you want to talk about outboarding AD, that's fine. Joker did it too, bro, and he could barely jump over a sheet of paper. So miss me
Yeah,
with
another
all
good
that.
rebounder. What are we
Yeah,
talking
that's
about?
another good
I just
rebounder. But
Jokic is a better rebounder
Looney
than
gonna
AD.
be more active. He's more active. He's more
I
agile.
think Looney is more active. But the
I'm
thing
not gonna
is,
lie
we
to you.
act
I'm
like
trying to understand the direction of this conversation because what does any of this matter if we're talking about
Yeah,
fit
what are you
into the
talking about?
Suns'
That's what I'm saying.
defensive like scheme? Like sure, right? Nurkic can rebound. I agree with you there, right? But my thing is, when you have Nurkic, Bradley, Bill, Booker, and Kevin, he's
Where
not
the
a good rim protector. That's what they need him to do: protect the rim, right? Right, like hedge up on, not die on every single pick and roll. Can he do that? That's what they need.
that is what they need. But they listen. The thing to counteract that, bro, is the shot creation that they have. They can match those. They can match those points. I'm pretty sure the Suns. Listen, the Suns don't have no problem matching layups with mid range jump. Like we talking about two of the best mid range shooters in the league.
No.
Okay, but
I
He's
think
not
that
hitting those
They can
the
numbers
match
issue
no
with
that.
that
more,
logic.
Leaf.
I think the issue with that logic though
He's
is
not
people
hitting
try
those
to
no
make
more.
the same. Hang on, bro. People try to make the same argument last year. Now let me get my point off. Right, last year the argument was they have all of these guys who can shoot. Right, they were losing the math battle. If you're taking majority of your shots from the mid range and you're not putting up enough threes or twos against other teams that are going to shoot more threes or get more rebounds than you, you're going to lose that math equation. If you're telling me that their answer is going to be let's just shoot more mid ranges, then fine, but you're open to mid range variants. When those same shots for Devin Booker didn't fall in game 6 or game 5, no one was talking about it, right? But when they're falling, it looks good. You have to have a versatile way of attacking teams offensively beyond just spamming mid ranges, bro. That's not going to be enough to beat the elite of the elite in the West.
And I think they will, because the thing is, bro, like we already established that the Lakers offensively are not better than them, and the Nuggets this year, coming into this year, bro, like they've digressed because they haven't made any additions to their team. So my thing is like, are we really just shortchanging the Suns, bro, just because of Kevin Durant?
You just shortchanged the Nuggets
You're
right
just
now.
trying to gas them for what?
You did.
You literally just snubbed the
What
Nuggets right now
and why are we?
because
How are we shortchanging
they
them?
didn't bring that
We
back
haven't
down.
done
I had a
anything.
reason. But I had a reason for for
Because
shortchanging
they
the
didn't
Nuggets.
add-
They didn't make it. They didn't make any
Okay, but why do you
additions to
have
their
to make-
team.
Okay, but why do you have to
you don't
make
have
big
to make a
moves
crazy
to
addition
still
for
be
you to
good or
get
better?
that
people
just
can
doesn't make
progress,
sense.
you know.
They still have the same
No.
core.
The reason why is because we know that Joker and Jamal Murray could get in foul trouble real easy. Well, we seen that. So
When
my
that matter,
I've
though?
seen Bruce, but
Bro,
the thing,
we're not-
this is what I
That
don't
shit
like.
was rare.
No.
That
This is
was
what I
very
don't
rare.
like.
I don't think
I
it
don't
was
like
rare.
when people do this thing where they gas up the role players now, but in the season when they're playing, and mind you, they
Did
are
not
role
talk
players.
about him.
No,
Yeah.
they not. It's not even that they don't talk about him. No one knew the fact that what this Nuggets team was doing without Jokic on the floor and Bruce Brown leading these lineups, and even some of the minutes where he was leading lineups with like Jamal Murray and stuff. Even in the Sun series, it didn't look that good. Bruce Brown looked like a much better player when he was with Jokic on the floor, running DHO actions, running these inverted screen actions, running a lot of these sets. Now, he's still a very good role player in general, but to sit here and act like as if the Nuggets just automatically just get worse, like they do slightly, but they don't become worse to the point where the Nuggets are just the Suns are just a better offensive team because they're not. Yeah, at least.
But here's the thing. I think the war of attrition, so to speak, is going to be how far can the Nuggets go being more top heavy than they was, I guess, for lack of a better term, leaning on the bench. If they never, I don't recall them ever leaning on the bench realistically, but how far can they make another run with the anomaly that they had? With the anomaly that they had,
I don't think it's a crazy anomaly though, based on who they
only
have.
anomaly I'd say is them not playing a team where they actually their deficiencies get exposed. That's the only thing I see as an anomaly.
But the defense is still a gap, bro. Aaron Gordon is
still
still gonna
have
be out there
defensively to help Jokic to an extent. They still offensively are very sound. So like I don't understand why you would be slighting them when they match up against teams that have the size, they have some defensive pieces, and offensively they have arguably the best offensive player in the entire NBA, as well as a great system to coincide that as well. So it's like there is no argument here for trying to slight the Nuggets when they just came off of what they just came off of, especially showing you in the postseason they're able to create advantages like no other team in the league. So like
okay, yeah, they have did that. All right, so
they only needed 7 people.
They did. They only used 7 to 8 people.
And Jokic stepped up defensively.
Yeah, listen, granted. All right, so look. All right, let's land the plane here. All right, so number one, everybody got Nuggets. That's after everything I heard. Number one,
no, I got Kings.
No.
Over who?
Nuggets as like going to the finals
Like,
again?
number-
Or just over the Suns?
Out of these 3 teams,
Yo, Gifty, you want me to buy you jersey, bro?
out of these 3 teams, who's gonna finish better?
won't.
Nuggets, Suns, or Lakers?
Nuggets.
To what?
Who you
Win?
got? No, I'm talking about finish. Like
Regular
who's gonna be?
season?
Who's gonna finish? Who's gonna go far in the playoffs? Nuggets, Lakers, or Suns?
I got the
Nuggets.
Lakers.
I have Nuggets.
Nuggets.
It's a matchup thing.
Haley got the Nuggets.
It goes
Nuggets
Nuggets,
make
Lakers,
sense, but I'm
Suns in
saying
that
Lakers.
order for me.
saying
Nuggets,
I
Lakers,
trust
Suns
the
in that
Nuggets.
order.
Yep.
Suns are last, buddy.
Okay. All right.
I got Suns over Lakers.
Got Suns over Lakers. I got the Suns over the
I
Lakers and
gotta
the
see how
Nuggets. So
that
I
bench
guess
performs.
That's
I think
crazy.
Lakers
Leaf.
Suns
That's
is very
crazy.
predictable though.
I don't think it
Yeah.
is that crazy. I don't think it is that crazy.
I don't think it's crazy to say Suns are better overall than the Lakers. Trusting them more because the defense makes sense, but
Saying
they
Denver
could beat
though,
them.
over Denver though, get
Oh no, Denver should be the favorite to come out the West. I think.
Yeah.
He's saying over Denver. No, not over
Yeah,
Denver.
no.
Leaf. I can't get with you with that.
Because Leaf, my prediction is that I think that the Phoenix Suns are going to have a fantastic regular season. I think they're going to get win after win. But I think once it comes to the postseason, either somebody's going to be hurt, they're going to be broken down, they're going to have a lack of defense.
The defense is
It's just, where's that defense coming from, Leaf? Like, honestly, there's nobody that's a good defender on that team except for Josh Kogi.
KD when he wants to defend,
which is still
when he wants to give like a rim protection and shot block.
Right.
Maybe.
I mean,
Little,
I guess
he gets
Devin Booker,
burned.
when he could get in the passing lanes and he could assert himself,
Grayson
getting a little bit better defensively. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, listen, I think it's all gonna depend. It's all gonna depend on who asserts themselves. What offensive player that's not known for playing defense on the Suns asserts themselves a little bit more on the defensive end and try to like make an effort.
Right.
I think this could be. It could still be a good team defense because even last year, even without Mikal, it was still a decent team defense, and that was like the only like on-ball defender. You didn't have Jay Crowder because he was sitting out, and Josh Okogie came like mid-season or whatever. But it was pretty much.
Who do they have? They had a Kogi and Aiden, like Haiti.
Kogi,
They
Aiden.
have no POAs. They barely have wings, and their front
it was
court
a
defense
Kogi
is
and
shitty.
Aiden carrying that defense.
KD playing defense at KD playing defense at this stage in his career, bro. I don't like it, bro. Because
he's still a good rim protector though. He almost averaged like 2 blocks.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't like it, bro. Because I always run with the term: the older you get, the more defense is not for you.
Shit.
That's why I like to run with that term. I just like some old head told me that
when KD was with Nick Claxton and like Ben Simmons, it was cool, but like now he has to anchor a defense pretty much. So have fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, while we're here, I mean, if you guys are down, give me like.
He's gonna come in for Nurk.
Oh yeah, they do have Drew. What do you guys think about the whole Philly situation, like with Harden and all the kind of stuff going on there?
Oh my God,
that's a great question.
Free Embiid.
I haven't heard you guys.
Free Embiid from the shackles of Philly cheesesteaks, bro.
Free Send them to Miami.
Listen,
unleash Tyrese, man. I know it's.
I know.
I need to say this. Okay. I need to say this, man. The Philadelphia 76ers, they need to take their franchise back. They need to stop depending on that. Listen, that whole trust the process, that was really Winky's idea, bro, and he has never owned a team ever since.
Winky?
So like, yeah, whatever his name is.
Winky.
Yeah.
Who is that?
He was the if I'm not
you know who that is? It's actually the best GM the Sixers have ever had. So and during the Embiid era. So yeah. That's
right. The 3 centers.
If you want to put that out there, that's fine. But listen,
who's the better GM? I'm not good. He left them. He drafted them. He got them picks. He got them a great cap flexibility. They were.
I didn't disagree with you. I didn't disagree with you. I did not disagree with you.
Over Jason Tatum.
He had them Rocco. He had a bunch of players, and he had them like a bunch of draft capital.
Like Buddy said, he picked Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum. But
that was like 2017, 2018 when they had Rocco.
Something like that.
That wasn't him, was it?
It was 2017.
They had Bell.
The Celtics. When the Celtics were in the conference better though. The Celtics were in the conference. Wait, hold on. The Celtics were in the conference finals. That was the year. That was the year that LeBron got dunked on by an 18-year-old, bro. Like he never got.
He was gone in April of 15 or 16. So I don't even think he had the pick, but he didn't decide who they're gonna draft. I think.
Oh, so he the one that drafted.
I remember when they had Dario Saric and all of them shooters. It was really Jerry Colangelo why they was so up, bro. Like, cause that changed their season.
Hell no, fuck out of here, bro.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Bro, they had Ben Simmons and shooters, bro. It worked. It worked. Go back and go look at that year. They was barely up 500. And then when they got Jerry Colangelo, he made all of those trades for all of those shooters, bro. They basically ran the table almost, bro. Like they was on the up. They was on the rise. So it's like
Sam Hinkie,
all you gotta do is just go back to that year, bro. Like that's all I'm gonna tell you. But listen, I think the Philadelphia 76ers, bruh, they need to take their franchise back because they got in a space where they trusted and they hired Daryl Morey, and they believed everything Daryl Morey has said about James Harden. He finally got James Harden over there, and James Harden, what did he do? He lied to Daryl Morey again. How did he lie to Daryl Morey? You lied to Daryl Morey with your play. Year after you, because just like you've been lying to him in Houston, James. You lied to him with your play on the court.
How did he
you
lie
lied
in
to him with
Houston,
your play. You
T-
lied to him with
240
your play in the
pieces?
playoffs. You lied to him with your
240
play in the
pieces?
playoffs. You lied with your playoff blunders. That's how you
240
lied to Daryl
pieces?
Morey.
How did he lie to him? I don't agree
You
with
lied
that.
to him.
240
I'm honest
pieces.
with you.
He ain't lied to him in Houston. He just
240
want that
pieces,
guy.
Leaf.
240 pieces, and what did it do? What did it do? It got you eliminated in
No.
Game 7.
Ask about Joel Embiid. Ask about Joel Embiid. Ask
They don't
about
wanna
him.
do that.
Yeah, what falls on Joel?
Yeah, I guess it does fall on old Joel, who was injured since Game 3 of when he swept my Brooklyn Nets.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
bro.
but so wait, you can acknowledge that he was injured, but you also can't acknowledge who kept
Shouldn't
him
have been
afloat.
out there stat padding against the damn Nets.
That is the truth.
No one's
I mean,
absolving James Harden of blame from that series, but you don't not pay somebody off of a simple series. The guy took a pay cut for the team so that they can have a better
I'm not
roster.
absolving him off a
And then
simple
on
series.
top
I'm
of that,
absolving
yes,
him.
he had a bad series against the Celtics.
KB, hold on, wait. KB, I'm absolving him off to all the other times that he lied on the court to
He didn't
Daryl
lie in
Morey.
Houston though, Lee.
What did he
Yes,
lie
he
about?
did. He
How
did
did he
lie in
lie? He
Houston.
just wasn't that guy. He was playing Curry and KD in them.
You're saying he
playing
lied with
Curry.
his game?
He lied with his game. Yeah, he lied with his game, bro.
He
James,
produced.
Well, but
He
then a lot of
produced.
players, like 50% of the league or 50% of postseason players, need to be held accountable for lying too. Like not everybody shows up in playoffs.
Conference finals.
but
round
50%
before.
of the players don't
You
be
won.
held the line. You know why, Haley? Because they don't run around calling the GMs that been looking out for them. That's their only friends in the league. They don't call them liars when they don't get paid. They don't call them liars, bro. They don't come out and call them by name, and they don't go on videos and say, "Yo, he's a liar. I'm not being
Well,
associated
yes,
with this
he is. Because
franchise."
if I carry Houston for damn near what, 15 to what, however long he was there, hell yeah, you lied. If I came here for you when I put you on the map with Houston and you didn't get me paid, you lied. And it's just a simple fact. You lied.
But what about all the other times that
He
when
didn't
lied
lie in Houston, Leaf. He lost to Golden State. Well, how is that lying?
He lost. He not only lost to Golden State, he lost to a Spurs team that didn't have Kawhi. He lost to that is true.
That's
He
his
ran-
bad series right there. That's
Daryl Morey lied to him by getting him Westbrook in Houston. Like, come on.
He lost to LeBron in the bubble. What do you
He
got to say
lost to
about that?
LeBron in the bubble.
They won't beat him.
Yeah, they wasn't beating them. He lost up 3-2 against the Warriors. He lost again to the Warriors the very next year when they didn't have Kevin Durant. He did,
even though he lost to them before they didn't have KD too. So
one game.
Calm
down.
Again, how did he lie?
He lost. He lost. Don't forget about he lost to Portland, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the issue with this conversation is we're framing you not playing well in the playoffs as lying. When you're still an elite caliber player, you're just not performing at a level against elite defenses. No one in the playoffs, for the most part, rises consistently outside of like a handful of players. Most players in the playoffs drop because they're playing elite defense.
Harden was still
just
giving
because
you
you don't play super well in every playoff series does not mean that you lied.
But I think he's because he's pairing that with demanding a certain level of pay and excellence from certain people. But I agree with you, Gifted. But I also agree with you, Leave, that he probably should just stay quiet. But let's just move away from like he lied, okay? And let's just say, if you're a GM, what are you doing with the Sixers? Like what is the move?
If I'm the GM, I'm blowing this whole damn thing up.
Embiid gone, Harden gone. Are you hanging on?
Embiid gone, Harden gone, bro. Like, listen, start over. Listen. You listen, Maxie, you can stay. Joel, you 30 years old. Get the hell up out of here. You can't stay healthy. James, I'm sick and tired of you. You need to be gone. We sending your ass to Shanghai. I'm tired of you. Get out. I don't want you.
I don't understand why James Harden is getting this much slander. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, but you have to see what is his value with all that he brings to like
a top 20 player in the league.
Not anymore.
That's just not good enough.
Top 5 playmaker.
Sure.
He's a
top
not
good enough.
18.
Wait.
That ain't good enough.
You guys are telling me. Hold on.
Wait. Last year in the regular season, what was James Harden's play? Are we just gonna lie? Like
20 and 10.
But
so that's not like a top.
Still a top tier playmaker.
That's not a top 20
On
player.
good efficiency. On good
Oh,
efficiency.
he was averaging
In the
no,
league
stop.
today,
He was averaging 21 and 11 on 44, 38, and
He beat
87
Kyrie
splits.
for
good
the
Yeah, I don't know what we're
assist
doing with that,
title.
yeah,
man.
but he's
Oh,
not going to get flopping calls this season. That's not going to work for him this season.
He
So
wasn't getting
knock
those calls
points in
last
half.
year.
He
What are you
wasn't
talking
getting
about,
them
Yes,
last
he
Haley?
was.
year
Yes, he was. He
neither.
was still
No,
getting
he
more
was
than the
not.
average person. Yes, he was. Not the same
I-
amount that he's gotten his whole
No.
I really
career.
think
Well,
that
no. Well,
The reason why
I would say, Haley, bro. The reason why he wasn't getting those, bro.
he
is
averaged.
because-
Wait, stop. He averaged 5.4 free throws, and
There you
that's
go.
like
15
free
points.
throws.
that's the
That's
fewest
not
free throw-
crazy. What?
That's
So
that's
because
the
of the
that's great,
offense,
but that's not a top
Hold on.
20 player.
That's-
Getting 15 points.
That's a big
He
drop.
averaged leave. Hold
Yeah,
on, bro.
Luka.
He averaged 5 free throws a game, and the
5.5
last time he
free
averaged
throws.
5 free throws for a full season was in 11-12.
Yeah.
And bro, are we serious?
They knocked his sure. Like he didn't get all the same calls, but I'm
He
saying
has
he's
200
not.
ball
He got
Fine. If you
basically
wanna put him
in
in top
2K
20 player
terms
of
he
the
got
league,
packed.
Wait, but
bro.
Haley,
Like, that's
why
Wait,
are
sorry,
you
sorry,
breaking this
sorry.
down to him flopping? If he can't do that, he can't be a top 20 player. Was his playmaking
I'm not saying-
elite last year?
His usage.
It
It
was.
was. It
Absolutely.
was. It was
Absolutely.
elite.
It was
Yeah.
great. But
It was-
I mean, are we gonna not just disregard the postseason? Like that doesn't matter?
Yes,
I
the
would
postseason
say
matters
postseason
when-
matters.
Because I'm pretty
The
sure I said
postseason
name 10
matters, yes.
20
One-
players better that played for the
Okay, so
extent
who
of the
played worse
regular
in the
season and the
postseason? Was it
postseason.
Jaylen Brown or James Harden?
Who played worse? Well, Jalen was injured. Harden wasn't. So what's the excuse from him?
Okay,
Thank
Harden wasn't when he went.
Embiid
into the
was out,
playoffs
so
with-
he had more room to even
Harden
score
went
more
into
and
the
have a bigger
playoffs
impact.
with
than
Embiid.
he
People
was
still
in the
are
playoffs.
holding. This is
Okay.
what I don't understand. People are still
I don't
holding Harden
He's
to like
bad
a
argument.
first option standard to where like people are so worried about his playoff production. It's cool. Like he dropped, yes, he did. But even in the series against Boston, he kept his team afloat in games in which it was really
did.
needed.
He did.
You had away games in your game one series with no Embiid and being able to steal a home game with not having home court advantage.
KB.
These
He
things
did.
are very important.
And he deserves
And even
credit
as
for
an
that.
offensive player, he was still making very sound decisions. Now he did drop, but at the same time, as an offensive player, he's still very viable. And
We've
that,
seen
like what he brings in terms of baggage needs to be addressed. But it's not that big of a deal,
It's
especially
not
when you're getting a
when he's
second
left
option.
two
like
teams
that.
in the last 3 years. It is a big deal.
Yes, it is a big deal. And KB, I'ma just note this for you. We have seen James Harden in the last 12 years as a number 3 option, as a number 1 option, as a number 2 option, and he has failed,
Hurt.
and he has slipped, and he has
Wait,
underperformed.
what is
at
he
each and every spot.
He's never been a number 3
What did he
option.
fail at?
He was a number 3 option on
On Nets.
He was not a
OKC.
number 3 option.
He
in
wasn't
Brooklyn.
number
He
3.
wasn't.
Was he the
that's
number
all
3
right.
option on the
You said
Nets?
3 years. You said three. You said last 3 years.
You said the last 3 years.
No, I
want
said
you
the
to tell
last.
me.
No, I said the
I
last
said the
12
last.
years. I said the last 12 years.
You said 3.
Last
right?
12 years.
I said 3.
Yes, I said the last
Oh.
12. We got to get 3.
Okay.
Am I lagging or something?
So wait. So Harden wasn't the third option behind Kyrie and Brooklyn?
That's
No,
what
he
I'm
was not.
asking.
He was a second option.
So Kyrie
was
was
the
the third
second
option?
You're the second.
Yeah, Kyrie was a third
Kyrie
option.
was
I don't even know if he was a second
I don't
option.
think
Yeah,
so.
that's
He did
that's
play
kind of
more
questionable.
games. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
that's
bro.
fair.
Are we
This
serious?
is so.
Was-
This
I
is so
don't know.
nasty.
Listen,
Wait, how
that-
was
that's
the
like-
guy? Wait,
He was the
no,
main
no, no,
playmaker.
hold on.
He was the
I
main
think that's
playmaker.
confused.
Stop.
That's
Yeah,
wait, hold on.
One
Hold on.
at a
Wait,
time.
hold on.
Wait,
Harden
stop.
not
I think we getting off track, bro.
How
That's
was
not what I'm
James
trying to
Harden?
say.
Leave.
I'm not.
chill,
That's
chill,
not.
chill,
Oh, wait.
chill.
That's not what I'm trying to say. Wait. Hold on. Wait.
Stop,
Please.
bro. Stop,
Okay,
stop,
The
stop.
last 12 years. That's what I'm talking about.
Stop.
I'm talking
James
about
Harden in
specifically in
2021
Brooklyn.
was literally in MVP discussions. I think he finished top 5 in MVP voting.
But wasn't
something
he more like the playmaker role though? He was more like
He was
playmaker.
that. That's still we're talking about
That's still
options for an offensive
second
player.
option.
Playmaking, passing, and scoring matter in that
When
scenario.
when
Okay.
all
Someone
three
I
of
see- I
all three
see-
of oh wait
I see how y'all.
KB
If
when all
someone
3
has
of them
the
was on the
ability
court
to
when all
score
3
the
of them
ball
was on
at
the
a
court
high
Harden
level
was the engine of that
Playmaking
team.
and
I don't
pass the
understand.
ball, he would legit have to be the second option or at least the first option as well. He would not be the
Okay.
third option. He wouldn't.
Okay, fine.
Kyrie was their third option.
I
KD
wasn't even
was
going
their
to get on the
first
Nets.
option.
Kyrie was the third option.
James
averaging
Harden was their
25
second
plus.
option.
Y'all
It's not hard
missing
to
this. Look.
Crazy.
I'm not. I wasn't going to get on that because the playoff thing with that wasn't a thing, bro. Like he got injured in the second round, and that's what had happened, and then we lost to the Bucks. That's fine. But I wasn't going to get to that. I was going to leave Brooklyn out of it.
Okay.
I was going from the last 12 years, and if my mic was lagging, I didn't say 3. I said 12. Going from OKC, where he was obviously a third option over there because he was coming off the bench. He was a 6th man. going to Houston, where he was the #1 guy, and he basically changed the league with all of this side step and triple step and all of this other shit that they allowed him to get away with that he couldn't get away with in the playoffs. And then all the way to I guess if you want to say #2, you argued you debated well with the #2 option as in Brooklyn, and now a #2 option in Philly. He has consistently in the playoffs failed. He has consistently in the playoffs failed as all 3 options over the last 12 years. Show me who you are. I know who you are.
Disingenuous with that OKC shit.
This is being so disingenuous, dog, bro.
With the OKC. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the OKC.
That's exactly why he said 12 years, bro. That's exactly why he said 12 years.
12 years is nasty. 14-15, I think it's overblown. I think he played fine in 14-15 playoffs. He just ran into Golden State. What's the next year that he played? Let's go to 15-16.
If you want to go to 15, bro, remind me that was the year that they sat him on the bench and the Rockets came back in the series with Jason Terry, Josh Smith, and Corey Brewer.
That was 14-15 against the Clippers.
That was 15. Yeah, that's what I just said. 15 playoffs.
And that's not that. Well, the reason as to why he said that is a bit nasty, but I guess. And then 16, he played. 16, he played the Warriors again, and I remember this. I remember this series in particular. Yeah, he played bad, but at the same time, the roster was not that good. It wasn't that good of a team.
Okay, all right, 16. All right, look, you know what? Let's go back a little bit further. How about
I'm 14, going year by year for
how
you.
About how about 14? How about the 14 playoffs against Dame? How about that? What did he do then?
His first postseason.
That was his first postseason with the Rockets.
Was it to what? You said 13-14?
Yeah, it was the 14. It was the 14 playoffs. I think he had Dwight in that series. Yeah.
Let me see.
Nobody remember that when Dame hit that shot?
In the 2013,
2014 playoffs.
Yeah, the 2014 playoffs. Okay, I was right. I was bugging up for a second. And in 2014 playoffs, he averaged. Let me see. Yeah, he averaged 27, 6, and 4 on bad splits, like really bad splits. So like he didn't play that particularly well, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. And from what I've seen, his final game he played okay. He had 34 and shot 60% from the field and 66% from 3. Against his first year as a first option in the playoffs was poor. Yes, it was. Against the Damian Lillard-led Trailblazers. I remember that. But 14-15, he was fine. I think it just gets overstated because he played the Golden State Warriors. Even in the Clippers series, in some moments, he was still fine. Like, he was legitimately still playing very good basketball. 15-16, he literally played the Warriors again with a depleted roster. 16-17, he went up against, I think, the best defense in the league, or one of the best defenses in the league in the San Antonio Spurs. And in the OKC series prior to that, he was legitimately putting up great numbers. He was averaging 33 a game. Never mind. I thought he was averaging.
He had a stolen MVP.
Okay, KB. Let's move away from this because it's 2023. We're about to be in 2024. This is now.
Yeah, I don't know why we're going.
No. I like it though. Like, I mean, it's good to have the whole landscape of his career and like
he was going back to try to prove that he wasn't a failure when we all know he was.
Well, I don't want to like just rant and discredit Harden. Like, dude's special. Like, we were lucky to have him for his career. Like, nobody's not saying that, but as of right now, when I ask like what is his value to the Sixers team, and if not the Sixers team, what can the Sixers get in return for Harden with everything that's gone on with him, especially considering his postseason history, right? That's the conversation we need to now have. And so yeah, I mean, I don't know if you think he's worth hanging on to for the Sixers, that's totally fine. Like, that's just kind of what I was wondering as a GM. Like, what do you do? What do you do?
The worst part is, on top of all
I think you do the same thing Portland did. To blow it up, man, just start all over, get draft capital. The Portland Trailblazers got everything they wanted.
Yeah.
They got everything they wanted.
They did great.
Everything. They did very great, man. I don't think they
James Harden is still a top
nothing to be
20 in the league.
ashamed of.
I still think James Harden.
And I think most people would probably agree with you, KB. I'm probably an odd one out. I think I can name 20 players better in this upcoming season, but I think that's totally fair and valid.
Averaging 21 and 11 on great efficiency, leading elite offenses in the regular season. And then on top of that, doing
It's
all
James
that with
Harden
Doc Rivers being your head coach too. So like
Yeah,
that is,
that's valid.
I'm a believer of Harden, bro. I'm sorry.
Put
Right.
some respect on playmaker Harden.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to
Doc,
understand is like it sounded like you were saying that if James Harden can't get certain calls, that he can't be this, impactful player. But quite literally last year, with Embiid off the floor, he averaged better numbers. He was a more effective player. And while he was on the court with Joel Embiid, he created many advantages that, led Embiid to winning the MVP. He was one of the only players on the team that could pass him the ball in multiple spots and maximize what Joel Embiid did as a player. I think the reason why Harden is more focused on is we just expect Embiid to not be a reliable player because he gets hurt every single year in the postseason, despite the fact that this MVP of the league was underperforming against the Brooklyn Nets because they were double teaming him. We don't talk about that. We talk about James Harden because James Harden's out there actually playing basketball. I don't really understand this narrative because even though Harden might not perform that well in the playoffs, and I can, definitely understand that, in terms of his play for the regular season and maximizing his teammates, James Harden absolutely did that. Now, the value that they're going to get back for James Harden is going to be great considering where the circumstances are with James Harden and the team. But make no mistake about it, if James Harden is not on this team,
and
what else
though?
are they going to –
Aside from just the circumstances, why else won't they get good value in return for him?
Because the season's right now is about to start and he's on a 1-year expiring deal. So that's why you won't get great value. It's not like he's on like a 3 to 4 year deal.
Right.
He's on a 1-year deal and he doesn't want to be there. That is why they're not going to get back much value. And also, they don't have many assets that's available on the market to get James Harden at this current point. Are you disagreeing with that, Haley?
No, I 100% agree. And I wasn't saying that because of those calls that's why his points were diminished. I actually thought last season was the best season I've seen from Harden in a minute. Like, he did fantastic. He played his role perfectly. Like, it was great. And he was huge in Joel getting that MVP. Whether you think he deserved it or not is another discussion. But no, I agree with you. It's just a matter of you have to look at it from an angle is that's not a fan or not a teammate. Like, what are they? Is it worth hanging on to Harden when all this stuff continues to happen? And it's a history of that happening, and it disrupts. You already disrupted the beginning of what should have been a fresh slate for your team. You did that, and you need to take accountability for that. But everybody wants you to say, well, because of what he did in 2011 to 2014. No, that's
not what I'm on. I think that there is not a fair level of discourse for this entire situation because, again, James Harden should absolutely be held, accountable for his unprofessionalism at certain points. I agree with that. But at the same time, if you as a front office are making promises to players before they sign and they have a year left on their deals and then you're not extending that, obviously the asset is going to be annoyed at that. So
wasn't the front office.
I think the accountability should be between everybody.
Daryl Morey.
Yeah,
I think Daryl Morey's a part of the front office, is he not?
And
but the thing is, Daryl Morey disconnected with the front office because when he tried to go up there and get Harden paid, they said no. So clearly, the front office, the rest of the front office, the rest of the front office and management wasn't on the same page. Daryl Morey went up there.
Based off what you're saying right now, Lee,
like they were Houston, and they weren't.
Based off what you're saying right now, Lee, you literally just admitted to my point that the front office was not all on the same page. So the front office should be held accountable for that. Is that true or is that false?
No, Daryl Morey should be held.
That
wasn't a front office.
That's not just the Daryl Morey thing. That's the front office as a collective.
It is a Daryl Morey thing because Daryl Morey put this all in motion. Daryl Morey was the one that went to their management.
Harden trusted him.
He didn't get him paid.
He
didn't have the pull to get Harden paid.
I agree with you, Gifted. Like it was.
No. Listen, Gifted. You said what I said, but I interpreted it a little bit better. The thing is, he like Daryl Morey went up there like they were Houston and like they were gonna pay him, and then they seen him in the playoffs and everything. They were like, "No, we not playing James. I'm sorry, Daryl. We not doing that." And so Daryl Morey was the one that led the lie. Daryl Morey was the one that said, "Oh, we need to get James Harden over there." They said yes. All right, fine, Daryl. Let's get him over here. Let's see what he does. And then James Harden didn't played, but he played in sort of way that the rest of the management outside of Daryl Morey didn't like, and Daryl Morey tried to run up there and get him paid again. And say, "I got you, James. I held you down in Houston, man. I got you there." And then of course he trusted him, obviously, and then he went up there, and then they said no, and then Daryl Morey basically carried out the lie.
All right, so where's
That's
the
what it was.
article that is showing that this is true? Because again, that stuff
That's
hasn't
what I was
been
about to ask.
lying.
you.
Well,
Where are you finding
why wasn't there something
Literally
in
lying,
writing
dude.
or like why would
I
Harden
mean,
just
I
be
don't
like,
know if
oh
that's
yeah, I'm
everything
just gonna
that happened
trust you?
truly, bro. But listen,
right. So now you're just saying
I'm
things
painting
that
much
could be
of a
true.
picture. Maybe I told
Right.
maybe I
But it's
told
not a
one
guaranteed thing,
untruth.
though.
Yeah, maybe I told one untruth, but that's like would seem like what went down. I wasn't there when it went down, obviously.
Okay, but that is why, from my perspective, I'm not talking on that because I don't know that, right? You literally just spent 3 minutes talking about a potential scenario that could be true or could not be true. I'm dealing with what we know. What we know is that James Harden in the playoffs did not play at a supremely high level outside of those 2 games. But at the same time, we know that if Joel Embiid had held up his end of the bargain and was actually like ready to play and productive in that second round, they potentially could have beat Boston. Because what I specifically remember is in that series, 2 of Philadelphia's wins came down to James Harden's performance as a player, and the third win was massively a team win. Joel Embiid at multiple different points as an MVP played severely below his standard, and the excuse for that is going to be, well, he was injured. And I can understand that. But if that's the case, if James Harden is your second option, guess what? Second options cannot win if the number one option is not performing as such, regardless of the context. That's my problem with this whole shit. And then the front office, as a collective, did not know what they wanted to do to maximize their team. They're not on the same page. That's on Daryl Morey, and that's on the rest of the front office, considering the fact that many members of the front office are not collectively at the same levels in ownership. So there is a disconnect from top down. So to put all of this on the player and not just the front office and the player is kind of weird to me.
I think we put more of this on the player just based off the fact that he basically went through 3 teams, got traded, like asked out for 3 teams, asked for him to trade for 3 different teams in 4 years. That's one of the guess that's one of the biggest outliers.
And I think it's super easy to just say that he's done that, right? But if you actually break down all of those circumstances, I think there's a fair level of accountability from all sides, right? When James Harden goes to the Brooklyn Nets, we literally see something in basketball that we've never seen with the pandemic that is impacting everyone that's there. Kevin Durant both times gets hurt, and James Harden is asked to carry a certain level of the offense with no KD and no Kyrie in certain times of those games. Now, does that excuse James Harden to just outright quit on the team and put up like 2 points against the Kings and get traded? No. But at the same time, that is not the role that James Harden thought he was signing up for. He signed up to be the point guard next to KD and Kyrie, and both of their availability came into question, especially when the Brooklyn Nets are saying, Kyrie, you can't play games because you are not vaccinated, and we have a mandate, so we're just going to sit you out for the whole season. But then later into that same season, they bring him back regardless once the mandate gets lifted. I think that type of situation for James Harden to ask out of makes sense to me. That's not just something where everything's perfect, James. You just left. That was not a perfect situation. So when you're talking about all of these situations with James Harden mounting up, I don't think the context for these situations is applied to Harden because you don't like Harden, and that's fine. I don't like Harden either, but I don't like being dishonest about it.
It's not just, and that's not just what
you don't
it is.
Like
I think
just say that.
Look. That all might be true, but James Harden's professionalism is always going to be in question in these
and that's what we should be accountable for. I agree with that, but that does not excuse all of the other context around this.
The accountability could be not having a job in the NBA. The accountability could be being let go from the Sixers and not being paid.
I want you to think about what you said, Haley. You said that the accountability for James Harden is potentially not having a job in the NBA. That would also be implying that he's not of the caliber of the NBA player to deal with his off-the-court antics, which, by the way, in his years playing for the NBA, he's played games in the NBA and still had his nightlife. We've seen this shit with Allen Iverson and other basketball players. That doesn't take away from what James Harden produces as a player.
That's not even involved. He can do whatever he wants off the court.
Okay, so what's the point in that then?
The NBA has been known to get rid of the antic guys and the problematic guys. We've seen them trying to do it with Allen Iverson back in the day, and
he was done.
We've seen him.
But Allen Iverson was nowhere near the level of player Harden is right now, though. At that time, I don't think that's another bad word.
That's granted, but sometimes. This is how I believe. This is not a truth. This is not a fiction. Whatever. This is how I believe. I believe the NBA, and with the new CBA in place and with all of these new things that they put in place, I believe it's built at some point when they talked about this new CBA. James Harden name came up, Ben Simmons name came up, Kevin Durant name came up. They talked about these players, man, and they talked about what they don't want to happen in the future again. And I think these names came up. And James Harden professionalism, and that's what's in question here. James Harden's professionalism and the way he dealt with all of these situations that you just named, it was always problematic. Now, if you want to put that back on the same as the management of each of the teams, that's fine. But his professionalism, had he handled this thing a lot better in terms of professionalism, I think he would not be as pointed at as he is right now. I think
so.
we
Are
could
you
all agree
specifically
with that.
talking about the instance where like he's not like what exactly are you pointing to? Because my biggest example for that would be when James Harden was in the clubs during COVID. I think that's
it's the outburst of calling Daryl Morey is a liar when he's in China, and all these things that he publicly brings drama that is unprofessional to the front office, to the system that he's playing in. It's not going out. Like, if you want to come hungover or not sleep all night, like, that's on you. That's fine. Like, and that will impact your game, and I'm sure they deal with that in-house because a lot of players probably deal with that. Look at the Grizzlies. You know, that's part of life. I get it. But the thing is, like, precedents aren't going to be the same all across the board, but I do agree with you, Leaf, when you say they had these discussions about Ben Simmons, about Katie, about these players who are not taking their job seriously. At least from what we can see, yes, there's so many factors going into why they don't show up, and Harden is not fully to blame at all for a lot of these systems, but he is to blame for his own load of it, I guess. So we can go into it all day long, and I feel you, and I think he's still a good player. It's just is he worth trying to salvage and trying to build up when he's obviously.
And now he's trying to go to the Clippers.
I don't see nothing wrong with calling out your boss. I don't see nothing wrong with calling out your boss.
He's still
What's wrong?
There's better ways to go
to
about
to
it.
the Clippers.
There's better ways, but maybe I don't know.
Because this is another instance of his professionalism coming into play.
No, it's not.
I think it is because when you
Daryl
call
Morey
out,
lied.
Would Steph Curry ever do that? Would LeBron ever do that? No.
But the thing is, you could have kept. But you could have kept that. But the thing is, you could have kept the Daryl Morey is a liar thing. Not on screen, you know what I'm saying? Like it just makes it look worse.
It is true
because
some people want to shed the light on people that lie.
But that's just not like it's immature, especially at his age and like
now you being goofy.
It's immature to just not the right like a way you just agree with. Like
I get what Haley's saying. I get what you're saying.
If my boss is holding me hostage and I feel like, yeah, you lied to me. Okay, I'm really trying to get out of here. You don't want to pay me.
If you don't have the tool or the
I guess
power
I
to
feel
get me paid, then don't give me a promise that you're going to get me paid.
But then don't trust people. Don't trust people that aren't in your corner.
And I think that was
no. Stop.
I know that they have history.
I want to directly respond to that, right? Haley, I agree with you, right? You should never go into business like just outwardly trusting people. But at the same time, if you're an NBA front office, when you're making promises to players in the era of player empowerment, and you don't follow up on said promises, can you really be surprised if the
it's not the front office? It's the one guy that promised him.
It's not just the one guy.
No. I feel you. Let me tell you. Like this
in
is
this
why I think
situation,
we're
it was Daryl Morey
because it was Daryl Morey to Harden in some context. We don't know if he flew out there, if they went to dinner. We don't know what that looked like, but it was between two people. Now Daryl Morey is now going to the front office and probably talking to both because he tried to get him a deal. The front office probably came and said, "We watched his play. We watched what happened over the offseason. We're watching what's happening with these. He's being disgruntled and calling out this and that. Like we don't know if the front office was the one to put their foot down and say, like, we're not going to go through with the contract. Was the contract ever going to come through? Like, was that coming through from the beginning? We just don't know. Like, that's a question. But
he's known to be a liar, though.
Yeah. Well, then.
Well, we talking about Daryl Morey?
Then the Harden got done dirty, and that sucks. I feel bad for him.
Other than this situation, I don't know any other time he lied.
He told Chris Paul he wasn't getting traded. He lied to him.
I have heard that. Yeah.
That was
that's kind of messed up, man. But Chris Paul is a buster, man. We don't care about him.
You're a capper.
Yeah, that shit is funny.
But overall, last thoughts because we'll have to jump off. But
that ain't cap,
Gifted, do you want to kind of close out like anything else like on that?
Yeah. Overall, it was fun to see this team play their first game versus LA. Want to see more reps for this team moving forward. Again, I think that for the Warriors to have great success this year, Kuminga is going to have to play a bit more of the load. I think Dario fits in well to a bunch of their lineups, but really need to see Andrew Wiggins tap into the rebounding, like really physical athlete guy for this team to get to the rim more as well. If you add that with the spacers and skill level players that we have, then this team could peak higher in the regular season than they're expected to. So I just want to see more from that. That's it.
Axe. KD.
Well,
well, like I agree with Gifted. The first game was really good. I think they play. I don't know when they play next. I think they play next week again, right? I think they play the Lakers again next week. But yeah, I was pretty.
I think we played the Lakers on the 9th. I don't know. Did I play the Lakers again?
Let me check the schedule.
Somebody said the Sun. Let me see Suns.
Probably the Suns. Yeah.
It says we play them on the 13th.
Suns are up like 40 on the Pistons right now.
It says we play. Our next game is against the Lakers on the 13th. So that's next Friday. Right?
Oh, okay. Sweet.
So yeah, I was impressed. I want to see more just to get more sample size and see what we need more, but still need more rim pressure. But offensively looks pretty good. Defensively, I want to see what Draymond looks like again on the floor as well. I'm just coming off of this injury too, just getting in shape. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Hoops is finally on its way back, so I'm very, very excited. I cannot lie to you. But yeah.
By the way, tap in. I've been watching WNBA finals this entire time. Really good game so far. The Aces are dominating right now.
Asia.
We have to see how
Asia Wilson.
Yeah, Asia
Kelsey
Wilson.
Plum.
Like, man, I don't think they could be stopped right now, man.
No.
Listen, I think the Liberty, man, it's just going to be another disappointing year for New York, for a New York franchise, because they basically going to be losing to another New York team. But I will say this: as far as my Brooklyn Nets go, man, like y'all ain't gonna never see it coming. Nobody in here gonna never see it coming. I swear, I put that on my mom's in on, man. Like, listen, y'all ain't nobody in here gonna see it coming, bro.
Leave him out of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave him out of it. As far as the Golden Fake Warriors go, man, you already know how I feel about them. Listen, I don't outside of the Lakers and the Celtics, I don't think no other team disgusts me more than the Warriors, man, and more than their fan base, especially the Curry fan. I think it's more so the Curry fan base. I don't think it's because the Warriors, they got the Bay Area, they got a consistent fan base. They was filling that arena out back in the when they had Nate Robinson running the point guard. So I can't really say them. It's really the Curry night and all these light skinned babies running in the driveway, just shooting from half court. They don't really have no athleticism. It's disgusting, man. Like I honestly believe when he goes, that's going to be another outlier in basketball that I have no shame of saying good riddance, along with LeBron and James Harden and Kevin Durant, as they ruined this league.
They ruined this league.
They ruined it. They ruined it.
Crazy league.
They ruined it. But they weren't alone. They weren't alone in ruining it, bro. Like the NBA just allowed them to get away with shit that a lot of players, past and present, in the future, are not going to be able to get away with. That's
they
all
are them.
They were just allowed. No, they were just allowed to get away with a lot.
He's a Nets fan. He doesn't know what good basketball looks like.
Yeah. On that note,
I actually do know what good basketball looks like.
Wrap it up.
On that note, we're gonna end the stream, but appreciate y'all, 10, Dom, and Leaf. Thanks for coming through. It was a good conversation today. And you guys in the chat, feel free to comment below if you agree, disagree, thoughts on Harden, and of course, thoughts on Golden State. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Easy, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Y'all be